Hello everyone, Vickieverlie here, the Rock and Roll Prophetess. This is going to be your September of 2024 Psychic Tarot reading for all signs. The decks that we're going to be using, of course, is the Rock and Roll Tarot deck, my creation. The guest deck this month, so to speak, is going to be the Wandering Star Tarot. And then we're also going to pull cards from the Beast Mistress Animal Oracle cards. And we're going to pull lots from the Lots of Love, Lots of Answers, and Lots of Proverbs. Before we get started, you are watching the Rock and Roll Prophetess on YouTube, and you can find out about me at vickieverlie.com. Do not be fooled by imposters. If you enjoy this content, I would love it if you hit the like and subscribe buttons so more people can see my videos. Well, let's do a quick rundown of what's going to be happening this month in the stars, and then we're going to go into the sign-by-sign tarot. Well, we are in, not only eclipse season is starting, but we are going to have the equinox this month. So what the equinox is, or cardinal ingress, it's any time there's a cardinal cross. And my regular people, you've heard me say this, but others may not have. So there's Libra, Aries, Capricorn, and Cancer, okay? And anytime the sun moves through one of these cardinal signs, we have a change in season. Doesn't matter if you're northern hemisphere or southern hemisphere, there will be a change of season. So in the northern hemisphere, it's going to be the fall or autumn equinox, autumnal. And then if you're in the southern hemisphere, it's going to be the spring equinox. So that is a big shift in energy, but also we're going to have the eclipse season. This is all like happening within a couple days, actually. There's this really intense period. Now what's interesting about this eclipse season, I am offering those eclipse readings only through the end of this month of September. What's interesting about these eclipses is here's the 2024 eclipses and here's the 2025 eclipses. But basically what's been going on here is that we've been having eclipses in Libra and Aries. And now the nodes are going to shift into next year, and then we're going to start having them in Pisces and Virgo. So there's another shift in energy. And this is a sort of a sneak peek, because we're going to have, it's Libra, Aries, Libra, but then look, we've got this one coming up in September. Full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces. So this is like a sneak peek of what the next couple years eclipses are going to be like, and what the nodes shifting into this energy is going to be about. So because again, we've been in this energy, now we're coming into this energy. So everyone is affected by that. Everyone is affected by the equinox. So let's, and if you want to get the eclipse reading and see how these eclipses might affect you, you can check out my website, vickieverlie.com. So here we go. First thing that happens is on the 2nd, we've got the new moon in Virgo, 11:04 Virgo. So set your intentions, a new beginning. Now here it comes. This is this time frame, starting with the 18th. And sometimes it might be the 17th, 18th, depending on your location. But it's going to be the full moon lunar eclipse. Pisces 25, Pisces 41 minutes. So anybody who has Pisces, we'll get to this as we go through the sign by sign. We'll talk more. Then just a few days later, like 3-4 days later, 22nd, the sun enters Libra. Therefore, that is that big equinox thing that I was just talking about. So there's this other big shift in seasons, and we're moving. So we have this shift, and then we have the second shift. So a lot of transitional energy happening around this time frame. So those are the big things that we're going to look at in the sign by sign, in addition to the cards. Always, I want to wish a happy birthday to all your September people, whether you're Virgo and Libra. Happy birthday to all of you. And the featured reading, of course, this month is the eclipse readings. This will be the last month to get that reading, even though there will be a second eclipse in October, but I'm going to cut it off here at the end of this month. And then the other thing is, if you like my content and you want to get more and also help support me and this channel and my work, I do have a Patreon channel where I do post readings every week for each sign. It's a little different, more little astrology, and then we do a couple cards for each sign. So without further ado, let's get started into the month by month, or sign by sign, I should say, with the first sign of Aries. I think I want to do this on top. I want to do this wandering star on top. Well, Aries, you know, this is big for you in a lot of ways. You know, it's big for you. It's a big month because the eclipses are moving out of your axis. So your axis is the Aries Libra axis. And not only that, when the sun moves into, you're being one of the cardinal signs, part of the cardinal cross, when these seasonal shifts happen, cardinal signs tend to feel it a little more. Now, it's happening in your opposite sign. So if you're Aries rising, that would be your 7th house, but it doesn't necessarily have to be, even if you're Aries sun or whatever. It's in your opposite sign. So this is the opposite of you. This is the outward world. This is the outward expression. These are other people. These are the others. So things could go, it could be something happening in your partner's life, or some of you could meet a new partner or end of a relationship with a partner. But of course it would be different for everybody. You would need a personal reading to really check into it. But let's go ahead and cut three piles and 3 cards for Aries. The first card you have is the King of Cups, water sign energy. Second one is the Knight of Swords, air sign energy. And then the third one is the 9 of Wands. Now we're going to go over to my Rock and Roll Tarot deck. Let's scoot this down so you can get a better view. And we'll go on to the next part. Yeah, so these are people. With the people that show up in the spread, there's no gender. So it doesn't have to be, just because it's representing as a king, it doesn't necessarily have to be a male energy, but likely to be a water energy up there. Let's see what the next 3 cards we have. The Empress, beautiful energy with the Empress. Could be a pregnancy. Chariot, big success. And then finally the Death card. Now death is not usually, hardly ever, it's anybody going to die. Hardly ever. Usually what it is a big change. And as I just got through saying, this is a month of big changes. So I'm really not surprised that the Death card has shown up in your reading. So let's start at the top. So we've got this King of Cups. King of Cups is water sign energy, which is Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. Well, what are we talking about here? We're talking about this Pisces full moon. Could be that, but it also could be an individual who has these qualities. The King of Cups has a really good vibe and a really good energy, and I love how the King of Cups is lined up with the Empress. Now, with Empress energy, somebody could be pregnant. That's always a distinct possibility with the Empress. But beyond that, the Empress is also very much a card of fruitfulness, abundance. If this is a love relationship, because regardless of gender, with the cups is the equivalent to the hearts in regular playing cards, right? This could be a love relationship, and this could be somebody who you just feel like the Empress, where you just are, they feel like you're the most beautiful thing in the world, and they're just so into you, and they treat you that way, and in kind. It's mutual, right? Knight of Swords is here, and the 9 of Wands. Now this particular Knight of Wands, if you notice, she's got a really kind of a sad face. There's text on here too. Let me grab my good glasses. Not the good ones, just the stronger glasses, so I can read this little text around here. I may not do it on every card, but I feel like I want to do it on this card. What does it say? It says strength, support, boundaries, strength, support, boundaries. Okay, but her face is sad, right? And I feel like for some of you, this Knight of Swords, this feels like it's an ex or something, or where you had a bad experience with perhaps an air sign, an Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, but it could be a lot of different things. It might be as we move into Libra, but it feels like you're left with a bad taste in your mouth, some of you. Okay, so this won't resonate for everybody. Check your rising and moon and all the other stuff, but you know, it feels like this guy or this person was treated badly, and she's left bewildered. Bewitched, bewildered, and bothered. Is that the third one? I need to put that on my list for my witches dance. Excuse me for 1 minute when I write it down. I have a list going for that. Bewitched, bewildered, and bothered, I think is it. Because if I don't write it down right now, I will never remember it, and I'm probably not going to watch these readings later. I know I won't. Okay, so sorry for the interruption, but I needed to write that down. The other thing that's getting me on these 2 cards, there's a star in the corners of here, and then there's a star above her head. So it feels like there was some kind of energy. Could be the star, you know, like the tarot star, which is, of course, you know, spirit guides and angels. But I feel like there was something about, like, they treated you like a star until they didn't, you know. Because a lot of times the air sign people too, there's great positive things about air sign energy, but some of the negative is they can just be bullshitters, you know, the shit talkers basically. You know, that used car salesman thing, charming, very charming. But then, you know, so you might feel like you've been conned or charmed or whatever, and you've got this stick in front of you, and these sticks, like, I feel like I need to be on guard. And maybe you feel like your light is dimmed, but your light is not dimmed because the star is here. And even look at our Empress here, of course, has stars all over her crown too. So there's these stars over your head, like spirit guides, angels, or your own light or your own shine or something. And I feel like don't let this, one bad apple don't spoil the whole bunch. That's what I'm hearing. One bad apple don't spoil the whole. That's all. I'm way off on that. It was a Jackson 5. I'll give it one more chance before you give up on love. Get up there in that falsetto, baby. Anyways, yeah, so don't let one bad apple spoil this for you, because this is a completely different energy. You know, with this fish hanging around his neck too, this very much could be a Pisces energy, or happening around that Pisces eclipse time, right? So don't let that one bad apple spoil the whole bunch for you over here. This is some beautiful things. Here's another interesting thing. So you've got the star over you. This has the eye over you, over this head. So this was a learning experience. This was for you to see some things about, different for everybody, but maybe it was just sort of, your eyes are wide open now. You know, maybe you didn't notice the red flags. You were so caught up in their charm and their guile, I'm hearing. That's a weird word to use, guile, G-U-I-L-E. But anyways, so now there's somebody who sees you as the Empress, treats you as the Empress, and very favorable, very powerful. You've got Chariot here. Now, it could be going on a trip, could be like that kind of thing, but Chariot is the highest success card in the deck in my mind, too. The other thing, Chariot, well, he's got a star on his head, too. Look at that. You see that? He's got stars all above him and on his head, too. So there's definitely something about that. Or maybe you need to just get out under the stars and let that energy, you know, get into that. Maybe there's some meteor showers going on or whatever. You know, there's been a lot of aurora borealis up where I live. People have been, I could barely see them, but a lot of people, you know, I guess you really couldn't see them. You had to get a certain, you put the night vision on your camera or something in order to really capture it. It wasn't really that visible to the naked eye, but it was cool anyway. But back to this. So there is these stars above your head guiding you. I'm interpreting them more maybe as spirit guides and angels, but maybe it's some kind of thing where, you know, you get out or go to a, you know, not a terrarium, what do they call that, where you, those buildings, you know, I almost said sanitarium. I think that's where they put mentally ill people, but, oh, if any, planetarium, right? Is that the name of it? Where you get out under the stars, maybe that's how you'll meet, or maybe that'll be your first date or something. But there definitely seems to be a big air of romance here. And death is big changes, but I feel like it's kind of just really letting go of this energy. I think that's a lot of what the death card is about. Here's another thing to note. All three of the bottom cards are major arcana cards. So that does mean that with this star, like I was saying, there's these higher spiritual forces at work. Now, if you're not interested in romance, although this is strongly leaning that way, you know, this could be, you know, maybe you were treated badly at work and you felt like you weren't appreciated, or your star didn't shine, and maybe you're like not, like I got 2 rejections this week myself, 2 rejections in the last 24 hours, you know, from different submissions. One was a grant and one was to a publisher. So, you know, you might start getting all these rejections professionally, and you start feeling like, well, maybe I do suck or whatever, you know, not suck, but you know what I'm saying. But no, you don't suck. And there's other things, and this could be this is the right thing. This feels like this was maybe the wrong thing or a lesson you had to learn, and then the right thing is coming along. And with Empress, Chariot, you know, you're flourishing, you're blooming. It's, you know, things are rocking out. Rock out with your bleep out. All right, Aries, let's get your animal totem for the month of September. You know, it's interesting, you'll get the grasshopper, so that's like coming together by leaps and bounds moving forward. And it's interesting, before I don't know if I influenced the cards or not, but I was thinking, you know, with all this Libra stuff, the eclipses are going to be there. Well, it's October, but, you know, it's all in your opposite sign, your 7th house. So it's not surprising that relationships could really be in the forefront. You know, here's the thing about the grasshopper. It's about leaping forward. The grasshoppers are just kind of happy little creatures. I always think of them that way. And they sing a happy tune, you know, they sing. And what they do is they jump from leaf to leaf, or whatever they're jumping to different plants, in order to get in the sun, where they can shine and bask in the sun. So they don't stay in the darkness. They jump into the sun. Okay, health, blessings, fertility. All fertility right there. You know, it's all very similar to the Empress card too. Health, blessings, fertility, the gift of song. Inspired creation reveals your true spirit. Reincarnation, discovering your soul path. Advancement by leaps and bounds. Well, advancement by leaps and bounds is also Chariot energy. But here's another thing. this reincarnation stuff. This is a karmic lesson for some of you. The other thing is the gift of song. And here's something, you know, I'm a musician and everything, and I write songs, and, you know, I've been known to break into songs. If you follow my readings, my guides feed me songs all the time. But what I've been doing a lot lately is just toning. You know, you don't have to be a musician or musically oriented. Just like, get that vibration down in your solar plexus. And, you know, and it really can help remove block energy and remove some of this feeling, you know, not like you're not shining or you're not a star. Because baby, you're a star. All right. Lots of love for Aries. New. Yeah, this is the new one. A new sensation. All right, yes or no or maybe from the lots of answers. What do we got? It says not now. Well, that could mean a lot of things to a lot of people. We'll leave it sit there, but it does seem like it is now for, you know, things changing. Or like if you were like me and you got all these rejections and it's just like, well, okay, not now. Maybe something else. All right, last one. Lots of proverb. A picture is worth 1,000 words. See, that I want to take every time this one comes up in relating to the modern day, I feel like it's, you see something on social media or they get caught or busted. I feel like that's it, because sometimes, again, some of these air signs, they talk out both sides of their mouth, you know. So they might have said, oh yeah, I was taking my sick grandma some soup, and then you see a picture of them on social media and they were out partying or were doing whatever, you know. So it's like that. So a picture is worth 1,000 words. Look at, and not only pictures, like social media is so prevalent in our society right now, but also, you know, what you see with your own eyes. What do you see with your own eyes? Don't so much listen to the words, especially from this certain person. And some of you know who this is. Maybe not listening to what they're saying, but looking at what you see, you know. Or if you do see something on social media also. All right, Aries, well, don't forget about that eclipse reading. It's only available till the end of the month. And if you like my style, please hit the like and subscribe. Or if you want more, head over to Patreon, where I do post weekly readings for all signs. It's $5.55 a month for the a weekly reading every week. And it helps support me and it helps support the channel. Next, we're going to move on to the sign of Taurus. All right, Taurus. Well, you're not directly involved in any of this eclipse and any of this stuff, but as I said at the beginning of the reading, everyone is going to feel the energy. So everyone's going to feel the energy, and that includes you. There is some big stuff going on, which that's in the Patreon readings I do discuss in more length, because you're Uranus and Taurus, and it's getting up in those critical degrees and stuff. So I mean, everybody's getting affected by everything, but the main things this month is not really exactly on your stuff, but, you know, you'll feel it just like everybody else. All right, let's do 3 cuts for our Taurus for the month of September. This is Taurus, Sun, Rising, Moon, or anybody with prominent placements. Look at that, same card in the same place. And that came out on the cut. It wasn't off the top of the deck. Oh, look at this, Knight of Swords, Ace of Swords. But what grabs me right away is look at this cat energy, right? We've got a tiger and a panther. Pretty cool, huh? Let me start shuffling here, because I already have an idea about. I want to talk about like that, but I don't want to influence this shuffle talking about that shuffle or that cut. Okay, let's see here. I'll do a shuffle like this. And cut 3 for Taurus. We've got Queen of Swords. Oh, a people, huh? The Strength card. And then the Page of Rods. Okay, who's the Leo here? Some of you are definitely dealing with the Leo. We've got a Queen of Rods. I mean, it could be male, female, anybody. But right away when I saw this Queen of Wands with the sunflower, I always use that for Leo. And then we've got this cat here, big cat here, big cat there. Here a cat, there a cat, everywhere a cat, cat. And then the Strength card comes out with the lion on it. I mean, I feel pretty strong in saying that somebody's dealing with a Leo there. Now, it doesn't necessarily feel like a bad thing, but there's definitely strong Leo energy showing up here. Now, this is September, so we're already, in August, we moved out of Leo energy. So it could be referring to some things that happened back in the 8th month of August, with some kind of a Leo person or Leo people or something like that. Again, no gender, so it could be, you know, anything. But more generally, Queen of Wands is a fire sign energy, which is Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius. Knight of Swords, you've got Knight of Swords and Queen of Swords, so we're looking at 2 air sign energies here as well. The air signs are Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. Now, of course, we are going to have the big equinox where the sun moves into Libra, so that could be talking about that time frame, or that time frame and beyond, you know, after the 22nd. Or, you know, could be talking about some air sign people. All in all, though, I mean, and then you even got a page of rods over here. So 2 fire sign energies, 2 air sign energies as far as court cards go, okay? All in all, it does feel like it's going to be a very social month for you. And Tauruses, I mean, you're social enough. I mean, like I always say, I always get along with Tauruses. A lot of my musician friends are Taurus. Almost every really great musician has some kind of Taurus configuration somewhere. Taurus sun, rising moon, or maybe they've got Venus in the first house, which gives them a Taurus flavoring. You know, there's different ways to go about it. But Taurus, in my mind, because it rules the throat chakra too, is music. Where Libra is ruled by Venus is more the visual and that kind of thing. Not always the case, but very strong, very strong. So, yeah, I mean, Tauruses aren't really normally all that social. You usually have more of a smaller group of friends. But if you're a musician or something, you may be jamming with some new people. Or a creative project, you may be doing meeting up with some new people. It almost feels like, for some of you, if you have a partner, like a marriage partner or like that, that's a fire sign, this could be your 2 children. And I feel like with this thing with the 2 children, that they're very different. I mean, they are. Look at them. They're very different. One's orange and one's yellow. One has stripes, one has spots. One looks this way, one looks that way. You know, this one has its tail coiled around the sword, and this one does not. You know, so I feel like that you're dealing with, and it feels younger for some reason. It does feel like children to me for some reason, or some kind of offshoot of this relationship. So maybe it's not your children, their children. Maybe it's a new job, and this is the first person you meet, and these are the, you know, the interns or somebody, you know, or the, you know, the underlings, for lack of a better term. But I feel like some understanding is needed. That you're dealing with even though they're the same, they're both big cats, and they both have a sword and a tail, and you know, all this stuff, and they both seem to be connected to this person. They're very different people. So I feel like for some of you, if it's a, you know, work relationship, or if it's could be 2 people doing kind of the same job, well, but for most, I feel like it's 2 children, and they're very different, and you have to approach them that way, and you have to be aware of that. And what works for one may not work for the other. Maybe this one, you know, this one's more independent, and this one needs more nurturing, or vice versa. You know, something like that. The imagery aside, the Ace of Swords is a card of a victory. Some kind of new beginning, a victory or triumph, perhaps surrounding an air sign energy. So we're back over here looking at this equinox, you know, that's that air sign energy. And with the strength card here, that often has to do with having strength, hanging in there. And this is also fire energy. So this could, again, this is reinforcing that Leo, perhaps Leo time, right? Maybe it's something that you've been waiting around or been trying to get going since Leo time, some bright spark of an idea you had, but you know, the whole month of August, Mercury is retrograde. Mercury only went direct like a couple days ago on the 28th here, so, and it's still not out of the shadow. So, you know, August, Leo time this year was not a good time to try to get things going anyway. So maybe you were struggling and, you know, things weren't moving along. You weren't having that breakthrough or that new beginning that you really wanted. And then by the time we hit over here on this equinox, which Mercury will be out of the shadow by that time, that things are going to really pop. If this is, these are clients or something too. Maybe they're similar clients or similar work people and professional contact. Again, I want to stick with this, that you've got to treat them each, they're not the same. Even though maybe they're both whatever. If they're not both children, maybe they're both your clients, or maybe they're both, you know, it feels like you may want to lump them together, but you want to step back and really, each is an individual unto themselves, and each needs a different, somebody needs to be handled with kit gloves, I just heard. So that means, you know, handling with kit gloves means a little bit more attention, a little more pampering perhaps. And it feels like this one is the sensitive one, you know. You could even go with the chakras, you know. This is the solar plexus, and this is the root chakra. Or, you know, the womb chakra. I forget what they call it. The second chakra. So it might even be like that, too. But, you know, take it in a case-by-case basis, okay? All right, let's go ahead and get the animal totem for our Taurus friends for September. And I was going to say, if we get one of the cat energies, I'm going to fall off my chair over here. But we didn't. I'm going to fall off the chair. So the ant is all about work and getting projects done. So you may be in a project with a bunch of people for some, but maybe some of them, or maybe if you're a teacher, these could be, if you're a teacher, these could be like children in your classroom. You know, maybe you can't really, it can't be all one blanket thing. You've got to take each person by the, and each one has special needs. Each one has special needs, but what I'm hearing is each one also has special gifts to contribute. If you're in like maybe making a film or something like that, where you know, maybe you want, this one is better at the writing, and this one is better at the editing, or this one's better at this, and this one is better than this. You want to kind of try to use each person. If you're in a supervisor position, if you're like the queen of one of these queens here on the throne, this one really feels like they are the boss person. I was going to say she's the boss lady, but whatever, you know, you get the drift. That, you know, they're in charge, like it's, and if that's you, even though it's not your sign, I get that, but it could still represent you. You know, especially if you have fire sign, rising, or moon, you know, it could be, you know, don't try to force a square peg in a round hole. If you're dealing with people, it's going to require a little bit of kid gloves, they keep saying, and sensitivity is what I want to say. Okay, ant, working tirelessly for the good of all, connecting with community. Yeah, there's definitely some community happening, right? And knowing our place in it. You can move mountains and make miracles happen. Yeah, that's a thing. That's another thing, especially if you're like a boss for productivity. Or maybe you're on a construction site and you've got this person working the cement and this one doing the scaffolding, but maybe this one's really better at that other thing. You know, let's you know, if you get the right things, the right people and the right things here, you can move mountains and make miracles happen. You'll get a lot more bang for your buck, but you'll also see more progress and less frustration by just paying attention to some subtle things. Or really, like, I'm getting a lot of this is around somebody who has some kids out there. And it's just, you can't say, well, your brother did this, I did this for your brother, and it was just fine. Well, they're different than their brother. Everybody's different. Even though we might look similar and the same, we're not. Everybody's an individual, and everybody's different, and everybody has their own needs. Okay, let's go ahead and get lots of love. It says, listen. Oh, that's so perfect. Listen. Not only listen to what they're saying, but listen with your energy. You know, this one feels soft and shy. Maybe your first child was, or your first intern even, or your first boss wanted things done a certain way, but this is a different, you're dealing with something different this time. And you need to adjust to accommodate that, okay? I'm doing a lot. I have grabbed the wrong thing, but we can still pull it. If you can dream it, you can do it. Yeah, so things are going to start moving along, and I think for a lot of people, this is going back to the time of Leo, where you're dealing with Leo. Okay, let's get the last one, which is lots of answer, yes or no, maybe. It says cloudy. Cloudy with a chance of meatballs, baby. All right, so Taurus, it's looking really good. It feels like I should have another card here, but it's because I switched them up and down. Usually I have the animal totem down here. But anyways, yeah, so lots going on. Things are going to finally start moving. You're definitely dealing with a group dynamic and a tribe, you know, your tribe. But within the tribe energy, maybe it's a family, maybe it's, you know, a lot of different things, which I've already mentioned. Case-by-case basis. Using everybody finding their strengths and implementing them in their strong suit instead of trying to force a square peg in a round hole will get you further. Okay, Taurus, if you want to check out any of my stuff, whether it's the Eclipse readings or the Patreon stuff, head over to my website, vickieverlie.com. And next we're going to move on to the sign of Gemini. Hello, Gemini. Thanks for tuning in. This is for Gemini Sun, Rising Moon, or anybody who has prominent placements in the sign of Gemini. Well, you know, you're another one that there's nothing exactly hitting you necessarily, but you're affected. Everybody's affected. Number one, your ruling planet of Mercury was retrograde for all of August, pretty much. So as we're moving into September, Mercury's direct, that's your ruling planet. So you're Geminis and Virgos, but I think mostly Geminis really are the ones that feel that Mercury retrograde the most. So things should really start kind of going a little smoother. Anything that's been stalled or delayed, you could definitely see it moving forward at this time. Another thing is now this whole, well, the Libra eclipse is moving from Earth into air energy, which is, you're an air sign, so that is more harmonious with your energy. But the other thing is, this whole deal with both the new moon and the full moon, because we're going to have the new moon. The new moon is in Virgo, right? And the full moon is in Pisces. The full moon lunar eclipse is actually in Pisces. It's making a square to you because you are also, these are mutable signs and you're also a mutable sign. And the whole thing, if you didn't watch the beginning, go back and listen to it. The whole thing I explained is how things are changing as far as, you know, we were in Libra and Aries, now we're going to be in Pisces and Virgo. It's going to be squares. It's going to be squaring your stuff for the next year and a half or so. So, you know, that can cause friction, but it could also help you. The other thing that you've really got going on your side is that you have Jupiter in your sign. So it's going to be for your highest good or guiding you towards some kind of blessings, ultimately. Should be. Okay, your first three cards that we have for Gemini is Eight of Pentacles, followed by King of Cups, and then the Strength card. I'll do one more quick little shuffle here. I love this Eight of Pentacles card. I love a lot of this deck. This is a really cool deck. And then we're going to do three cards for Gemini from the Rock and Roll Tarot. We've got the Hierophant, followed by the King of Swords. Got two kings lining up together. And finally, the Sun card. Well, that's so interesting that the two kings line up. And this would definitely represent you, by the way, because it's the air sign king. So the air signs again are Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. It could represent you as well as somebody else. I'm going to light a little smudge here. It doesn't have to be only you. And that's, you know, I'm hearing that song. Only you can make my dreams come true. Only you can make I want to write that down. That's another one of my nostalgia songs from my mom. Used to play it on the jukebox. Oh, only you. I want to write that down, so I'm putting together a playlist. If I don't write it, I'm doing my smudge too. But if I don't write it down, I will forget. So, well, I believe that's a love song that came through. So it could be romance for sure. Got all this sun energy. You're really giving off a vibe here with it because you have the sun energy right next to you like that. That indicates like you are really, you know, rocking and rolling, and people are attracted to you. You're giving off, and your talents and abilities are shining. You know, it's really a very nice energy to have the sun. It's a great energy to have it in the spread, but the fact that it's right next to you, I mean, that's super, super, super duper. I said it's super duper. Why this just doesn't want to light? Maybe I'm not supposed to light it. But anywho, yeah, you got the sun energy. Now here's what I'm talking about. These readings are multi-tiered and multi-layered, okay? So there is, you know, it could be you and you're in the sun energy and you're shining and everything, but also when the sun enters Libra, the air sign energy, that's that whole equinox stuff too. So that could be something really powerful and positive for you. The third thing, you know, a lot of times the King of Swords is somebody who's involved with legal, law, government, stuff like that. Especially when he shows up right next to the Hierophant, because that's also could be like government and some kind of institution. I definitely feel like there's a strong correlation to this with this. Like, this is the lawyer for the government, or this is the politician for the government, or this is the, you know, the dean from the school, or, you know, or the head of the hospital, you know, or the librarian, or Library of Congress, or something, you know. So there does seem to be some tie into that, but it does feel so positive with the sun energy. I mean, both kings feel really positive. So Eight of Pentacles, first of all, you've been working on something, you've been developing your craft. working on something to make it better, and you're really just into it. It could be more of a hobby at this point, but it could turn into, it's starting to flourish. You're starting to see some things really come forth from it. Having strength, having patience, hanging in there, because the right situation has to come along, okay? Now, we've got the King of Cups, which is water sign energy. So that could be a Scorpio, a Cancer, or a Pisces. And we are going to have that Pisces full moon. So we have the Pisces lunar eclipse on the 18th. And then a few days later, we have the sun energy. So could be right around that transitional time when a lot of this stuff is really coming to the forefront for you. Now, here's another thing. I said this on another reading about the Leo energy, because the Strength card always reminds me of the Leo energy because of the lion. And also, the Sun card is Leo energy because that's the ruler of the Leo. It's the heart chakra and it's the sun. So maybe you could be dealing with a Leo. I'm not really feeling that as strong in this case, but it could be something that you've been working on all the way back from Leo time. So Leo time started from the end of July through the end of August. And we're now in Virgo time as the month begins. So maybe you've been working on it for a while. We had that Mercury retrograde, your ruling planet, and so maybe it was just trying to get it going. And now it's really, when we get to this point, it's really starting to happen. It's like, though, sun, it's just like, wow, like the big reveal. It's like, wow, look at me, here I am. The sun is shining on you. You're getting the acknowledgement. You're getting the recognition. From some sort of bigger, maybe corporate structure, I want to say. A big corporation. Maybe if it could even be if some of you are wanting to write, get a publisher, and you get it, not like me, I got a rejection list yesterday, or today actually. You get to say, hey, we love your stuff and we wanna publish your stuff, okay? So I do feel like this is being accepted into this. Maybe if you're a teacher, maybe you're going to get tenure. You know, it's something like that where you're getting the acknowledgement, you're getting the thing for a job well done. This doesn't just fly out of the, I'm hearing, fly me to the moon and let me live above the stars. Fly me to the moon. That's another one from my oldies, the moon. I gotta write it down real quick. You know, this just didn't fall out of the sky, basically. You've put effort in, you've been working on it, you've been perfecting your craft, and others are taking notice, and you're going to get the acknowledgement and the recognition. All right, let's get an animal totem for our Gemini friends. This is Gemini Sun, Rising Moon, or whatever. If you're a cross-watcher, doesn't matter. Gemini energy all the way around. The Stingray. Stingray is a very powerful energy and a very powerful card and a very powerful animal totem because it's so elegant and graceful, but by the same token, it could be deadly. You know, it could sting you. I'm getting more songs now. What is it? Kiss me once, kiss me twice. Come on, pretty baby, kiss me deadly. Kiss me deadly. I hope that's not the case. Well, let's read this, what I wrote. Elegant, electric, fluid, deep, unwavering persistence, ambition, responsible wielding of innate power, maneuvering gracefully through life. You know, and this whole thing about responsible wielding of innate power, moving gracefully through life, you know, this could very much tie into the Strength card energy in the way that the Strength card is not about being pushy. You know, it's having that grace, being dignified, having grace, wielding. I mean, a lion could bite her head off and kill her, right? But it's wielding that innate power. You know, keeping that kind of in line and presenting as in your best light with the sun. You know, presenting your best self, putting your best foot forward. That's really what I want to say. All right, let's get into the lots. We're going to pull first from the lots of love for Gemini, Sun, Rising, Moon. Got radiant. Yeah, you're radiating. It's like radiant on a day. It's a good advice. All right, some good advice. Let's have it. Shirley. You know, I've been saying lately, when this card comes out, you might be dealing with somebody actually named Shirley. S-H-I-R-L-E-Y or L-Y. Sweet advice when you're almost there. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. Yeah, this could be a reunion for some of you. Maybe you're going to be reunited with maybe a lover, but maybe even just an old work partner. You may team up again. If you're in the creative field, maybe you're going to team up with on a creative project again. Or maybe, who knows what. If you're a freelancer, maybe you're going to get to work with somebody that you haven't worked with in a while. It could even be an old, the sun energy, it could be an old childhood friend. Maybe you guys used to go play around the beehive or something when you were kids. I don't know. It's going to be different for everybody. But anyways, looking sweet, Gemini. Looking really sweet. You are definitely powerful right now. So, you know, stay in your dignity. Stay in your grace. Present yourself in the best possible light. And others are definitely taking notice, all right? Hey, if you want to get in on the eclipse reading, that's going to be available to the end of the month only. Or if you're interested in any kind of personal reading, or want to join up for Patreon for the weekly readings, head over to my website at vickieverlie.com and you can find out more information there. And then next we're going to move on to the sign of Cancer. My little cards are getting kind of messed up here. Might have to print some new ones, huh? All right, Cancer, well, you're another one who is a cardinal sign. So like I've been saying, so the cardinal ingresses, you know, the last cardinal ingress we had was the solstice in June. That it ushered in your time of year, your season. But we've got these are the cardinal cross. You've got Libra, Aries, Cancer, Capricorn. So anytime the sun crosses these thresholds, it ushers in a new season. And it also, if it's not in your sign, which it's not this time, of course, it's going to be in Libra, it does usher in those squares. So squares are making things happen, and it's a new beginning for everybody. But you know, sometimes the cardinal signs, I feel, may feel the ingresses a little bit stronger. They could be more impactful on your life, even if it's not the one in your sign. Like I'm saying, it's the one in Libra this time. But it can be a little bit more impactful for you, you know. And it may be like, I'm feeling like, so the last one was your sign in June, right? When the sun moved into Cancer, we had the solstice, summer solstice in the northern hemisphere, and winter solstice in the southern hemisphere. But during that solstice time, what is it that you put out into the world? What was your wish at that time? What new beginning were you trying to start around that time, around that solstice, around your new moon, around your solar return, all during that time frame, right? And this is a time that could be sort of like a check-in. So we're a quarter way through. Oh, this one fell out, so we're going to use it and we're going to stop shuffling. We're 1/4 of the way through the year. And how's it going? Is it a good plan? Is it working out? Or do you have to make some adjustments at this time? Do you have to do some course correcting, making some adjustments? Okay, the first three cards you have, I should say, is the Four of Pentacles, the Nine of Wands, somebody else had that card too, and then the Sun card. So beautiful energy with the Sun card. Gemini had it as well. Let's get 3 more cards from Rock and Roll Tarot. The Empress, somebody had that in that same spot. I think it might have been Aries. 8 of Cups, moving on. Moving on, baby, how we gonna wreck the ground. Oh. All right, let me get a quick sip of water. My throat's starting to go. And off to the races. Well, Four of Pentacles is here, and that's like finances. We're checking our finances. We're seeing how things are going. Maybe that's the wish that you started back at solstice time. Like, you know, you were trying to... You've definitely been working on something with this Eight of Pentacles. I feel like you can... What the message I want to tell you is that you can trust yourself. That you're good enough to do it now. So maybe you've been like just doing something in private, or you know, some kind of business or craft, or creating something, and it's just been kind of under wraps. It's because Cancers, you'll do that. You'll go in your shell. Especially when I see this card with Cancer energy, it's like you're in your shell and you're just working away. And the Empress tells us that you're ready. The Sun tells me this as well, but especially the Empress. The Empress says that you're ready to put it out there. Maybe somebody, you know, this card, you know, maybe you thought it was great, and maybe somebody, you know, put you down, or you got rejected. Like I just got rejected twice, and I have to stop talking about it in the reading. I need to stop talking about it at period. So I want to keep giving voice to that. But anyways, yeah, you know, so you felt like your star was dim or something, and then you're like, well, this is what I got to work with. How am I going to redo it? And you've worked on it. Maybe you've been working on it since your birthday. And wow, you know, the Sun card, the Empress, it's really reached a point of being done, of being ready to be shown, of being ready. Maybe some of you started some kind of weight loss or fitness goal, or new eating thing, diet and exercise. Because the other thing, the Empress can be a pregnancy too, by the way. So it could be a pregnancy. And Sun can represent a pregnancy too. In traditional tarot, there's a baby on it. So somebody might be turning up pregnant. Maybe you've been trying to get pregnant. But Empress, besides pregnancy, is a card of good health. So if you've been working on trying to get your health in check since your birthday, and you've been working on it, maybe you went for a checkup and you were disappointed, or you weren't seeing the results that you wanted, you know, from you've been working out and you're not losing the weight, or, you know, all of a sudden, it happens like that. I've done that many times. You know, I'll be working out, well, I don't really work out, but I'll be, you know, being more active and trying to eat right and stuff, getting, you know, hiking and walking in nature and whatever I'm doing, you know, stuff I do. I don't ever go to a gym. It's always outside stuff, you know. But whatever the case, and you know you're trying to do more and more, and you're not seeing it. Like, man, I hardly ate anything this whole week, and I'm still, you know, my pants are still tight. Well, now all of a sudden it starts happening. You know, that happens a lot, and all of a sudden, you know, your body adjusts and you starts dropping weight, or you start seeing your muscles getting more toned, or whatever the case may be. But for others, it could be like a work project, something you're creating. You're ready to move out of this, whatever this was, where you felt sad, where there was this emotional sort of suppression or something going on, where you felt like, oh, you know, it's whatever, you know, I'm not ready to show this to anybody, or I'm not ready for bikini season, or whatever, you know. I don't worry about any of that crap either, but you know what I'm saying, you know. You felt like you needed to be in that shell. This is the time to come out of the shell. This is going to be, and I feel very strongly that this is relating back for many to what happened around your solar return here. Because here's another thing, we got that moon on this card, and we've got that full moon lunar eclipse that we talked about at the beginning. If you didn't tune in, you might want to listen to that part. And the full moon is a reveal. The full moon is like, oh, you know, I do see a difference, or oh, I do see a big improvement. Or even if you're trying to learn an instrument or something, you know, there's a learning curve, you know. There's a time frame where you're struggling, and you know, you have to, and then once you get into it, after a while, you're not even looking at your hands, you know, and it's just coming straight through, and you know, or maybe you went out to open mic or something and they booed you off the stage. You're like, man, I put on my best dress and everything, and I got booed off the stage. But now you've been singing every day, and you're getting your voice stronger. You know, it could be a bunch of different things. You've put in the time and effort to whatever it was. There was a point where you were disappointed and you thought it was never going to be, it was like a no-go. Well, now it's a yes-go. Now you're ready. You don't have to stay in the shadows any longer, Cancer. Now it's time to move out of the shadow and just be your best self. With the Sun energy and the Empress, it's like, here I am. All right, this is me, 100% who I am. I'm letting it all hang out. I'm being me. That's another thing too I'm feeling on this, with the Sun energy and the, you know, and the Empress. It's like, be you, because everybody else is taken. That's actually one of the laws. You know, maybe you were trying to copy somebody else or be like them. No, just be you, because that's good enough. And that's what you're supposed to be. You're supposed to be you, okay? Everybody else is taken. Okay, let's get that animal totem for our, I almost said Scorpios. The snake energy. Snake is Kundalini. Snake can be, you know, if you can think of the biblical tales, you know, the deceiver or whatever, well, as it's presented in traditional Christian religion or whatever, or maybe even other religions, but, you know, the snake tricked Eve into biting into the apple, and, you know, it was all evil or whatever the hell it was supposed to be. but maybe it was to see a reality, you know. Maybe that apple was actually some kind of truth, you know. But let's see here. Kundalini activation, carnal knowledge, portal to awakening, primal chi, medicine. The new you is emerging now. Yeah, because the snakes shed their skin, right? And something is emerging because you've got the Empress, so you're giving birth to something, but it's ready. You know, she's ready. She's not she's about to give birth. She's right there. So it's time to give birth to whatever. You got a couple of 8s here too, if you notice. 2 8s and the sun energy. I've said this in somebody else's reading, but it could be true for you. That could be 8th month of Leo time. Maybe you've been working on it during the retrograde of August, the 8th month. The sun rules over Leo. That's why I bring that into play. And now, wrong thing. And now you're ready to reveal. It's the big reveal. All right, let's get you lots of love. Engaged. Some of you may be engaged. Or getting engaged. Or maybe you're just engaging more in life. You're not boo-hooing over here in the corner and caring what anybody else thinks. Look at this though, isn't this interesting? I just caught my eye just now. Look at how the dresses are similar. She's got the red flower dress, and the Empress also wears the red flower dress. So whatever this disappointment was, now it's coming to fruition, and now you're ready. It's changed though. It's with the snake energy and shedding of the skin. You've done some adjusting. You've moved on from. You're not hanging on the old. You've done the work, and you're ready for the next thing. It says naturally. You make me feel like a natural woman. You make me feel. I just changed keys, but let's get to lots of Proverbs. Get out while the getting's good. Well, usually that means it could tie into this right here. It could tie into the moving on of something. You know, maybe there's something you need to left behind. But what I really feel is like, get out. Get out there and be you. Get out while the getting's good. You know, just while the sun is, you get that sun energy. Get out. Get back on your feet. You're the one they can't meet, and don't show it. Get up. Let's get up, not get out. Well, get up, get up, get out. All of the above. All right, Cancers? Definitely, let yourself shine. It's your time to shine. Don't be so put off by what anybody said. You've done some work. You've improved on yourself, and whatever it is. Maybe you maybe got a poor performance on your job, review, your work review thing, employee thing, and now you kicked ass and done better, and you're gonna get. Maybe you might even say, well, screw that job. I'm gonna find something else where I'm more appreciated. You're definitely gonna be more appreciated now. So don't be afraid to put it out there. Okay, Cancers? All right, well, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to check your rising moon or any other pertinent sign that you relate to on whatever level, whether it's for cross-watching or any of your planetary placements, cusp, whatever the case may be. If you want to get an eclipse reading, those are available till the end of the month. And also, Patreon's always available. And I have other readings too. You head over to my website, vickieverlie.com, and please don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons. All right. Next, we're going to move on to the sign of Leo. Hello, Leo. Thanks for tuning in for your September of 2024 Psychic Tarot reading. You've been coming up in like all the other readings so far. It's so funny. No, not all, but several of the other readings I've been definitely picking up on some distinct Leo energy. And we're actually just out of your time frame. We're in Virgo time now. But it's interesting. Now, you're not one that's going to be involved directly in any of this stuff. I mean, it's not hitting in your sign. But that doesn't mean anything. I mean, well, it does mean something, but I mean, it doesn't mean that you won't feel the effects of it. Everybody feels the effects of it. And especially you might have, sun or rising, or you might be on the cusp of Virgo. Some of you might be on the cusp of Virgo. So the new moon in Virgo on the 2nd could be very impactful. But more so, I think it's this time frame for everybody that's going to be the most impactful this month. Okay, let me do a 3-card cut for Leo for September of 2024. We've got the Three of Swords, followed by the Four of Swords, followed by the Lovers. Okay, so how can you mend this broken heart? How can you stop the rain from falling down? How can you stop the sun from shining? What makes the world go round? That came through. Well, people, keep on dreaming. Anyways, you got 3 and 4 of Swords. But the thing is, obviously the 3 of Swords, you've been hurt. There's been some heartbreak, but it feels like with the Lovers here, it's gonna, all's well that ends well. It's one of those kind of scenarios. The 3 of Swords is feeling hurt, feeling heartbroken, but then, and the next card in the sequence is the 4 of Swords, which does talk about having a healing time. So we get hurt, we have a healing, and then we love again. You've got the Lovers card here. And Leos, you are lovers. You are the lovers of the zodiac, right? You ruled by the heart chakra. But here it is, you're coming back with the Lovers, So in some cases, it might be a reconciliation. In others, it might just be like you're over it already. You had a bad breakup, or somebody broke your heart or hurt you. You've had your healing time, and now you're definitely ready to love again. The Lovers is an excellent, positive card that usually refers to romantic love more than anything. But sometimes, I will also use the Lovers as just a card to represent love in itself. But there's the other thing is the Lovers is a major arcana card, okay? So it packs a much more powerful punch than the minor arcana cards. So whatever this was, you're over it. You're going to be loving again, whether it's a new relationship, maybe you went through just a bad time. I mean, people, when you're in a long-term relationship, you have times when you're not getting along. So maybe you've been through one of those times, and now you're definitely back in this wonderful love, romance, relationship energy. It's interesting. Here's an interesting thing on this card too. We do have this big, it might be a sun, but with the black background, it reminds me of a full moon. And of course, we are going to have that full moon lunar eclipse over here on the 18th. So it could be thereabouts. You might start out the month feeling a little blue, but by the time we get into this full moon lunar eclipse on the 18th, a little past the mid-month mark, things are looking brighter. And you're feeling happy and in love again. Now, for some of you, it could be that, because you got this Nine of Rods, over here, and that is feeling on guard. Like, I don't know if I should trust. I've really been through something. This guy's really been through something. He's been through a battle or a war. You may feel coming out of this that you've been through a battle or a war or something, and you've definitely got some choices here. You've got a gender side. It doesn't have to be hetero. It can be anybody. Okay, but you've got a Knight of Cups energy, which is a water sign energy, a Scorpio, a Cancer, or a Pisces. Also could be representing the water sign moon. And then you've got the air sign energy, the Aquarius, the Gemini, or Libra. Also could be representing the sun moving into the Libra energy. So again, it's pointing us back to this time frame. But what I'm getting here is like this person is like, after everything, don't go sour. Don't let your heart go sour. That's what my guides are saying. You might be thinking, after everything that I've been through, even though there's options out there for me, I've got at least 2 options to choose from over here. I'm a little leery. I'm leery of trusting again. I'm leery, and that's not usually a Leo thing. Usually Leos, you're ruled by the heart chakra. You are the lovers of the zodiac. But after what you've been through, you may be a little bit reluctant to love again or trust again. I'm here to tell you, with this Lover card, especially being right up at the top and crowning the reading, it's saying it is going to be, there is a good relationship out there, or you can have a good relationship. I think for a lot of people, this is a new relationship because it feels like these are your choices here. Like you have 2 choices. And either or feels good. Different energies. Now, the cup energy, Could be, it's water energy. Could be more, you know, more emotional, loving, romantic, which Leo's like that, but you are fire and that is water, so there could be a little bit of a, you know, not for everybody, because who knows, you could have cancer, cause all kinds of things. And then the air sign energy, this is more witty, fun, clever, let's go do stuff all the time, where the swords energy might be like, well, oh, let's go see the movie and let's go travel and do all this stuff, where the water sign energy might be like, let's just stay in bed all day and look into each other's eyes and, you know, not leave the room, and, you know, or like that, you know, or, you know, a romantic getaway by the water or by the ocean or something. So it's different. But it's neither one is bad or good. It's just different, okay? And I see you with that lover's energy, Leo. So you will love again. If you're still in this phase as you're watching the reading, you will love again. If you're ready to get back out there, it's saying you're going to have more than one option here. And, you know, don't be afraid to put your foot and dip your toe back in the water. So if you're not really interested in love stuff, you know, if this isn't resonating, then check your rising and moon. But maybe, you know, there could be some other things going on. Let's see what the other cards are. Let's get our animal totem. Got the owl. The owl is about that wisdom, but it's also nighttime. Look at how this is so similar. We've got the black background with the stars and the night here too. So there's something about the night, maybe going out at night. Maybe it's your own dreams. You may have some kind of big, because this is messengers too. The owl totem is definitely a messenger. You may get some kind of big dream while you're sleeping. You may dream of somebody before. If you're having a hard time deciding, you may get a dream, a prophetic dream or precognitive dream that shows you the right, well, maybe not there's no right or wrong, but shows you what your higher guidance, because this is very much related to higher guidance as well. Let's see here. The owl, silent flyer of the night, occult messenger of the spirit realm, transmutation through expansive vision, clearing of obstacles at a miraculous rate. Yeah, so clearing out these obstacles of this broken heart. This is coming to mind. This is not necessarily my words, but this was it my grandmother? It might have been my friend Judith's mom who used to say this. They both had a real similar energy, you know, these older women that were really cool. But they used to say, it might have been Judith, maybe I heard it from both of them at different times, but it's an old-timey saying. They used to say, and it's not necessarily men, but they say the best way to get over a man is to get under another. And this is not coming from me. This is, the guy came through with that. But basically, you know, or you know, it's like a bus. There's another one coming along any minute. I know, because you guys are you're so romantic and dramatic, and you know, you're so. Everything's a big deal with the Leos, but there's another big deal coming right around the corner, and I love that this owl energy there is too, because it feels like there is some wisdom involved in it. It's not just leading with whatever, you know. There's a deeper soul connection, I guess I could say. Okay, love everything. It's just lonely. So some of you have been lonely. I've been lonely too long. Okay, next. Lots of answers. It says soon. Yes, very soon. Probably this month. Your next lover could be right around the corner. Alright, and then finally, lots of proverbs. A stitch in time saves 9. Well, that's more about like kind of doing things right the first time. Right? A stitch in time saves 9. So do it right the first time, then you don't have to go back and do it again. So I'm not really sure how that relates to love necessarily, but that could just be, you know, maybe there's a message that somebody out there just really needed to hear that message, okay? Alright, Leos, well, thanks so much for tuning in, and if you want to get in on the eclipse reading, that's going to be available till the end of this month only. And then also, if you enjoy this kind of, I have other readings on my website too, so if you want more cards, not astrology, more cards, that's available always. And also, you know, the Patreon thing. Weekly readings for all signs with astrology. Alright, next we're going to look at the sign of Virgo. Well, Virgo, where it's your time of year. We're in Virgo season. Happy birthday to all you Virgos. Speaking of astrology reports and stuff, I do have this really, it's a 60-page or more astrology report for only $22. And I do mine every year. I know many people order just that every year. It gives every single astrology aspect with interpretation for your astrology year ahead. But yeah, this is your astrology year ahead. This is your new moon. So you get one new moon and you get one full moon. It's happening on the 2nd of the month in most cases. And, you know, it's a time to set your intentions and set the energy up for the upcoming year. The other thing is, if your birthday is if you're a September Virgo, then, you know, your solar return is your most powerful time. This is your most powerful time to set your intentions for the upcoming year, to make a plan, to, you know, maybe light a candle, you know, make a list. I know you like to make lists, Virgo. Make that list of what you want to bring into your life for the upcoming year. And so you have something to focus on, an area of intention to focus on, to manifest. Okay. Let's cut 3 cards, or 3 piles and 3 cards for Virgos from the first deck. And we have the Empress. Beautiful. Abundance, pregnancy, followed by the Queen of Swords, air sign energy, Sun moving into Libra, and finally the Nine of Pentacles. Nice. Boy, you have some nice cards up there, Virgo. Let's get 3 more cards for Virgo from the Rock and Roll Tarot. 2, 3. We've got 9 of Pentacles twice. Look out, Virgo. Money, money, money. Money, 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 money. Yeah. Don't. Wow. I mean, you guys are going to be rocking and rolling with the money here. Big time. You've got the 9 of Pentacles 2 times. This is a card of major abundance. This is a card of being in a state of flourishing. Often it has to do with having your own business. It can be. What's interesting is the 7 of Pentacles. Now, with the 7 of Pentacles, I'll read that different. It depends. I always say I look at his face. Does his face look this way or that way? But when he shows up with the 9 of Pentacles, she's got a pile of money. He's got a pile of money. She's got a pile of money. There's piles of money all over the spread. So you guys are really walking into some really nice abundance here. And to top it off, the Empress also represents major abundance. Now, the Empress can also be pregnancy. It is known as the pregnancy card. But when you apply it with all these Pentacle cards everywhere, we're looking at some nice major cash flow, my guys are saying. Now, we've got the Queen of Swords in here. And the Queen of Swords is an air sign energy, which is Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. So it could be talking about this Libra Ingress thing here on the 22nd and beyond. But it could be an air sign person. You know, when I'm looking at this, she has her sword in her hand. But what I saw was, take the sword away, I thought she had like a stamp. You know, like stamp, you're approved. You know, like you get that approval. Like you got this approval, maybe you got a loan or a grant or an endorsement, or, you know, somehow you got the stamp of approval. And Chariot is the highest success card in the deck, so look out. Some of you, if you've been wanting to move, the Chariot could indicate a move. You're going to get the money for the move. Some of you, this could be a job where you have a lot of freedom, where you're traveling around, you know, you're working on your own. Sometimes this could be like a real estate agent. You're traveling from place to place, or maybe traveling I think jobs where you know, that you have to travel is maybe not such a big thing anymore, because we have the internet now. I don't know if that's such a thing, but maybe it is. Maybe it's something in the airlines, even for some people, or the automotive, or train travel industry. You know, something along those lines. Maybe some of you are going to work for a car dealership even. Whatever it is, it feels like, wow, really big money. This could be if you've already had your own business, like maybe you've been running a website or an Etsy shop, or on a smaller scale. This Queen of Swords, this could be an influx from a larger, maybe there's some signing of contracts or something, and they're going to give you like some money up front, and, you know, you're going to get this big endorsement or this big, I keep wanting to say endorsement. Somebody's getting an endorsement deal. I keep wanting to say that. Again, if you've been trying to get pregnant, Empress totally could be pregnancy for you or somebody else in your family. But again, tied in with all this money stuff, I mean, this seems just like saying it's, you are, and it seems like the wand is, it's actually a scepter, but it feels like this magic wand. Like this magic wand, like you waved your magic wand and things are just flourishing all over. This is the great, so if that's, with this new moon and your solar return and everything we were discussing, you know, this would be, if you're trying to manifest some money stuff, you could really have some money miracles, my guides are saying. Another thing that is standing out to me on these cards is you've got these flowers blooming. I think those might be lupines, or are they, what are they? I have them in my yard, the blue ones. They come up in the spring. I'm drawing a blank for some reason. But you've got these flowers here blooming, and you've got these flowers here. Maybe some of you, this has something to do with botanicals, or, you know, a greenhouse, or, you know, growing of flowers, or something like that. You know, something having to do with flowers and, God, it's driving me nuts. The name of that flower comes, they're bluish or purple. I think they're called purple. They come up in the spring. They're bulbs, and they look just like that, but they're purple. But I think that there's lupines that also resemble these flowers. But whatever it is, you know, you're flourishing. You're majorly flourishing, and, you know, wow. Talk about major, you know, piles of money everywhere. Could be more than one thing. Maybe you got one pile from this thing and one pile from that thing. Alright, let's take a look for our animal totem. For Virgo, you got the bear. You know, the bear, I always think of the bear as either coming in or going out of hibernation. So that could be a thing for you. But there's more to the bear energy. Let's read it. Majestic, wise spirit, star brother of the north, retreat into the womb of the great mother to emerge anew. Define your territory, set boundaries, and create sacred space. Yeah, creating sacred space. You know, maybe you're setting up your business. Maybe you're going to open a flower shop, become a florist, somebody out there. It's interesting to me that these crowns look very similar too. It's something I'm noticing. Look how they're kind of orange and yellow, orange and yellow. There's something similar about the two crowns here. So I'm not sure what actually the meaning of that is. But, you know, the crown. You're wearing the crown. You're crowning glory, my guides are saying. And she also wears a crown, and so does the charioteer. He's wearing a crown. All right, let's go over and get your lots of answers and all that stuff. This is the answers. Let me grab the love first. Okay, lots of love for Virgo for September 2024. Cheater. Well, there's nothing indicating a cheater here. Maybe you've been cheated. Maybe some of you, maybe this is some court case. If you felt like you were cheated, because sometimes the Queen of Swords, the Swords people can be those lawyers and stuff. Okay, let's see here. Truly. I thought I had truly already. Maybe I accidentally threw it back in the bag. And then last but not least, lots of answer. It's never too late to be who you might have been. Yeah. Some of you, I heard that, see that cheater, what came to me, some of you might be have gotten a divorce, and you're doing better than ever, you know? Like, you're really, like, you're the Empress now. Like, maybe you felt diminished or having to be whatever in that relationship, and now, you know, or maybe you were, you know, supporting a partner that wasn't carrying their weight, and now you've dropped that dead weight. But I don't know if it's just about the money. This feels like, with the Chariot and everything, and the Empress, it feels more just about your essence of being. You're prosperous because you're so, you know, you're so, you know, you're just creating your life, and you're just doing it. You're out there doing it. And nobody, it's like you're not holding back anymore. And you're really having a lot of success. Not only, I want to say, not only this month, Virgo, but for the upcoming year, because we are looking at that solar return and everything. Hey, I hope that this is great. I hope that you enjoyed this reading. If you want to get a personal reading, either the eclipse or this type of reading, you can find that on my website. Also, don't forget about those astrology yearly things, very affordable. And I do have a Patreon page, so if you want to get in on that, it's $5.55 a month for a weekly reading for all signs. All right, next we're moving on to Libra. Well, happy birthday, Libra, if you're a late September Libra. And this whole Equinox thing that we were talking about, this is the whole, you know, the sun moving into your sign. Happens every year, but it's super powerful. Even if you're in October, Libra, if your birthday is in October, this is still, this time frame and this zero Libra thing is very powerful for you, okay? Now, as far as the eclipses, this eclipse is in Pisces, but there's still going to be another eclipse in your sign coming up in October. So if you wanted to order that eclipse reading, you know, we would look at the Libra eclipses that we've had and where you're going in the next phase of your life. And, you know, so you're involved in the eclipse season, although not this month. But there's still some major powerful stuff going on for you, Libra. All right, let's get some shuffle going here. And by the way, too, I mentioned it for Virgo. Oh, one just fell on the ground. I do have that year ahead astrology report. It's not a personal reading, it's a report. But it's very thorough. It's 60-some pages, and it goes into every single astrology thing in the whole year round, and with explanations. So check that out if you're interested. Let's get 2 more cards for Libra. We've got the Hermit flew out onto the floor, and then we've got the Ace of Rods or Wands, and then the Nine of Wands. Boy, this Nine of Wands has been out quite a bit this month. Okay, for not just, you know, different signs. Okay, let's see here, and let's get the 3 cards for the Rock and Roll Tarot. The Five of Cups, which is kind of similar to the Hermit in my book. Okay, and then we've got, there's some similarities. And then we've got the Page of Rods, and then your Two of Swords are making a decision. Well, the similarity that I talk about in this is just the stance of the body. In this card, it's a little different, but let me find it in my mini Rider-Waite here, or my mini Coleman-Smith deck. Let's find that Hermit, because I wanted to just show that real quickly. Watch, I don't have it handy here, or I passed it. Well, it's just the stance of the body, basically, and the black robe. In the traditional tarot here, he's standing in that same position, kind of looking down with that black robe, where the meaning isn't necessarily the same, but I tie them together. I'm going to have to check this deck later. Did I lose my Hermit card? I'll have to count the cards and see if I'm missing one. Sometimes there'll be a card missing from the deck and I won't even know it. Then I'll count them and I'll be like, wait, one of these cards, man, wow, I'm not finding her. Oh, there he is. There he is. He's here. Yeah, see, so there is a similarity in here in this traditional deck. I mean, she'll illustrate a little different, and we'll talk about that too. But you see what I'm saying? The black cloak, this body stance, sort of looking down like that. But they actually are different meanings, because the Emperor, I mean, the Hermit is wisdom in both instances. But I still want to tie these together, and I want to say, even though you've been through some disappointment here, there's some wisdom to be gained from it. Look a little deeper into it. There is some wisdom to be gained from it. Your higher self is trying to communicate with you. There is some knowledge to be gained, and even the Five of Cups is not lost. The Five of Cups is, yeah, something didn't work out how I wanted it to, but there's still full cups here. You're just not seeing it yet. You're just not seeing it. So don't waste too much time dwelling on that, particularly around this equinox time, because you want to be setting your intentions for the next thing. And the Ace of Wands is in a very prominent position here. Ace of Wands is planting that seed for the new beginning, is planting that seed for the next phase of creation, the thing you want to see bloom and grow in the upcoming year. And the upcoming season, with the equinox, is also the upcoming season. There's some fire energy down here with this. You've got Ace of Wands and you've got Nine of Wands. Or Page of Wands, excuse me. So there's some fire energy. Now, there's no big fire stuff happening this month as far as the astrology goes, but could be talking back to Leo time. I've been saying this quite a bit, because Leo, the whole month of August, Mercury was retrograde and just things were not moving forward. So it could be like that. But it also could just be, my guides are coming through with the term youthful enthusiasm. Something that youthful enthusiasm. Perhaps in some cases, it could be something that you even tried to do or had a dream of doing, perhaps, when you were a much younger person, when you were a child. When I was a child, I caught a fleeting glimpse out of the corner of my eyes. That's, I turned to look and it was gone. Put my finger on it now. The child is grown. The child is grown, the dream is gone. Well, I'm here to tell you that the dream is not gone. The dream was just put to the side for a while here. The dream is still alive, but it's going to, and with the snake energy on here too, I feel like it's going to be transformed. It's going to be coming about in a new way. But the initial spark, it's not wrong. You were not wrong. You were following your soul path. You were connecting with some kind of spark from your higher guidance, okay? But it didn't work out. Maybe the timing was bad. Maybe you were just too young. Maybe the world wasn't ready for it. I mean, we can go on and on about why it doesn't really matter why. But the point is, maybe it's coming around here again. Now, look at this Ace of Rods. There's that full moon again, right? And even this feels full moony. We're going to have that full moon lunar eclipse. Is in Pisces, but then just a couple days later. So there you have this window of time here, this magical window of time here, right? Where we're going to have the lunar eclipse, and then the sun moves into your sign, and the lighting just changed, didn't it? The sun's moving to a different spot here. Well, the sun's going to move to a different spot. You know, that's going to happen. Maybe I want to turn off the other light. Well, I might have to jump up and walk. Oh no, it's changing again. I don't know if that helped or not. Did it? I don't think it did. I think it's better like this. So there's a decision to be made. And it's almost as if the decision to be made is, are you going to be sad? Are you going to be wallowing? Or are you going to plant the seeds for what you want to do? Seeds will be planted for the upcoming year, regardless if you're aware of it or not. This could also be the subconscious mind. Because when you have the Libra Ingress, when you have your solar return, you're starting a new cycle. A new beginning is commencing. So you want to put forth this youthful enthusiasm or these positive vibes in order to create that positive energy for the entire year, well, the entire season, next season, but entire year in your case, because it's your solar return time frame. Okay, let's get our lots of love for the Libra. Frigid. Well, frigid means like cold. You know, a lot of times it's sexually it's somebody who doesn't want to have sex, maybe. But frigid, I almost want to say like rigid. I want to pull out of that. Like, don't be so rigid. Allow yourself a little wiggle room. Color outside those lines. Allow for, you know, the spark was good, but maybe the execution, there's, like we were just talking about, it could be so many things, you know. Don't be cold and pull away from your true soul's calling. Don't be frigid with yourself and your soul work. Okay. Lots of thing that says agreed. So it's agreed upon. It's agreed upon by somebody. Maybe your spirit guides and your higher self agreed upon it. They just haven't let you in on it yet, huh? All right, let's get the last one. The lots of thing. I forgot the animal tone. We'll get it. The early bird catches the worm. Yeah, it's interesting that the early bird catches the worm. And I was going for all this earthly, you know, I was going to say earthly delights. So maybe that's something for somebody, but this youthful enthusiasm. And you've got the Ace of Rods. So it's time to strike while the iron's hot, my guide's just saying. Don't focus on what didn't work in the past. Let's get rolling with here and now. Let's be in the here and now. Let's listen to our higher guidance. You know, this blindfold, maybe shut out the outside noise and listen to your higher guidance here in that hermit energy. Okay, what's the animal totem for our Libras? The ant. I had the ant before too. Normally I put them on a different thing. They're getting mixed in somehow. Well, it's for you too. I'm not going to give you a different one. It's meant to be. I'm going to move these out of the way though, so I don't keep picking the same ones. Ant is about hard work. So whatever this is, it's going to be some hard work. It's not just going to fall from the sky. Working tirelessly for the good of all, Connecting with community. Oops, this little bug is flying in my face. Connecting with community and knowing our place in it. You can move mountains and make miracles happen. Yeah, you can move mountains and make miracles happen. You know, the other thing I'm picking up for you with this ant energy is, you know, you're going to find other people who are on board. You know, maybe the people you approached before, or you were talked to before, or you shared your ideas with before, they were just like, you know, go get a real job, or, you know, that's a pipe dream, or, you know, they poo-pooed your idea and they left you bewildered over here. But you're going to connect with the right people this time. There's an opportunity to do so, for sure. For some of us, it might not be until we get into Sag season, which is a little ways off, but you're planting the seed now, okay? Sag season is the end, like Thanksgiving time, end of November, end of December. But not necessarily. There's plenty of, there'll be Leo moons, there'll be stuff happening in September, just none of these big dog things over here, all right? All right, Libras, well, again, powerful time for you. If you want to get that astrology report or any kind of reading that I'm offering, head over to my website. You can find the links below. And if you'd like to get in on Patreon, it's a weekly reading for $5, which also helps support me in the channel. It's $5 a month for the whole month for a weekly reading. Check that out too on Patreon. All right, next we're going to move on to the sign of Scorpio. Well, hello, Scorpio. We're Libra time, sign before you. Next month, next couple months will be more of your energy. So, you know, some of this stuff is sort of 12th house, and also the Pisces energy is that bringing in that 12th house. You know, this might be a time where you might be turning more inward. But the full moon in Pisces is definitely right up your alley. You know, you're very much connected to the Pisces energy as a fellow water sign, as a fellow, like, psychic, intuitive person or energy. So, you know, there's that going on. You know, so this full moon in Pisces could be very insightful, and like I just came through with profound. So it might be very profound. Simply irresistible. That's what I'm hearing. She is so fine. Simply irresistible. Okay. I don't know why I did that, but I did. Okay. Oh, this one's going to be your first, and then we're going to cut two for the second three. Got Seven of Cups, Two of Wands, and then finally the World. Wow, look at that beautiful World energy. Okay, so we got Seven of Cups, Two of Wands, and the World for your top row. The bottom row from Rock and Roll Tarot, we have Six of Swords, followed by Ten of Cups. Look at that, you got Ten of Cups in the World, look out. And the Page of Fire, which was just out on the last spread. Okay, so Seven of Cups is, you know, choices, but it's also very much a card of visualizing and dreaming your future into being. And what's grabbing me is this moon and stars in the background here. And then we've got this beautiful full moon eclipse in Pisces. This very much, to me, feels like that energy, you know, of the full moon in Pisces. Visualize what you're trying to create and put your plans into action. Many of you are just really tired of the situation here. You know, you've been in some turbulent waters and you're really ready to move on to the smoother sailing. But I also always like to look at this card, any of the journey cards. What are they journeying towards? So this is what they're leaving behind, this turbulent water. But where are they heading toward? They're heading toward the Ten of Cups. Come on. I mean, the Ten of Cups, one of the best cards in the deck. Happiness. It's a marriage card, so if you're looking for a relationship, it could be a relationship. But it's beyond just relationship. The Ten of Cups is the most happiness, the most joy, the most, you know, excitement, love, everything that you're wanting. And it's a 10, so it's something coming to culmination. And we also have the World here, which is also another card of culmination. The World is everything you wanted and then some. You've got the Two of Rods above here. So the Two of Rods is like you're making, you're dreaming your dream, right? You're wanting to get out of a situation. You're wanting to make a change. You're dreaming what your new life is going to look like or where you're going next. You're visualizing it. You're dreaming it. And then Two of Rods, you know, you have a plan. So it can't just always be in the dream. You've got to make the plan. You've got to take the action. The Two of Rods is seeing that path, seeing that way clear, seeing the direction you want to go in. Excuse me. Landing on a viable plan. A viable plan of action, my guides are saying. Here's another thing, though. Well, let me finish this row. Tying it into the world, you know, the Two of Rods is like, you're still at the beginning. It's a 2. So it's still kind of at the beginning of this road that you're going to walk down here. But it says, not only it's connecting with the Ten of Cups, so you're going to get to not only the Ten of Cups, the dream that you've been dreaming, the ultimate dream. You know, if my guides were just saying, if money was no object, where would you be? And you're going to get there, but not only that, you're going to surpass it. You will surpass it with the world energy. You'll get even further along, and it's going to be everything you wanted. You thought the Ten of Cups was the end of the journey, like I've made it, I've achieved it, here I am, it's the Ten of Cups. But no, there's even further that you can go. The world is even more opportunities that are opening up for you. You've got this fire energy, so it could be something that you were doing back here in Leo time. I've been saying throughout almost everybody's reading here, you know, Leo season was almost just kind of a wash for a lot of people because Mercury was retrograde. There was all these planetary things going on that were just making it difficult to move forward during the month of August. Well, Mercury's gone direct as of the 28th of August, and we're hitting the ground running, and a lot of things that you were working on are coming to full fruition during this time. And the Ten of Cups, you know, you're happy, you're celebrating. Some of you might be just traveling to go to a wedding. That could be too, you know. And then maybe you make an important contact here. The other thing about the Two of Rods is it is a card of partnership. It's a successful partnership. It's a partnership where you guys are on the same page and that you can see the road ahead of you. It's, you know, because we all start out, there's this spark of energy and we really like them, but then maybe as we go along we find out, well, they want to go this way and I want to go that way, and that's when it all starts to fall apart, and the friction starts. The Two of Rods says, I want to go this way, and I want to go this way too. Cool, let's go together. You know, you're walking down the same path, you're going together in much happiness. Also, because we have, the Ten of Cups does have the children on the card, and we've got this Page of Fire over here. This could be, you know, that there's children involved in some form or fashion. Maybe it's, you know, your partner has children, maybe you do, maybe you have them together, maybe it's even grandchildren or whatever the case. But there's a lot of happiness and joy around with the children are definitely part of it. You know, they're definitely part of the celebration or part of this happy thing. And Scorpio, you deserve it. You've been having some rough readings, if I'm not mistaken. Because I'm Scorpio rising. I always listen to my own Scorpio. I'm Scorpio, I'm Capricorn Sun, Scorpio rising, and Sag Moon. So I like these readings that are all one if I happen to come across one. Because I can just watch bang, bang, bang right in a row. You know, Scorpio, Sag, Capricorn. And if I'm not mistaken, the Scorpios have been having some kind of... Well, I know we've been through the ringer anyway. I mean, I already know. You know, it's been a lot. Okay? But, yeah, well, here's the other thing with Scorpios. Pluto has gone back into Capricorn. Okay. And Pluto is important to you because it is your ruling planet. I believe it was last month that Pluto went back into Capricorn. But for sure it's back in Capricorn during September, okay? On top of the eclipse and the equinox and all this other stuff. But it seems like, you know, with the world and the 10, these culminations, maybe you're kind of finishing things up and maybe you could have like a happy ending, my guides are saying. Maybe there could be some happy endings to some of these stories and some of these struggles that you've been in. All right, let's get the lots of love. It says fun. Well, it sure looks like fun too, right? So you're having a lot of fun this month. That sounds good too, right, Scorps? Okay, next we're going to get the, it says never. Well, maybe we're just never going back to this old stuff anymore. You know, we're just not. And the Pluto is coming to, making it come to an end. Okay, last but not least, the law of the proverb is still waters run deep. Well, if that's not not a card, but if that's not a lot for Scorpio, because that's you all day. I forgot the thing again. We're going to do it. Animal totem. But yeah, before I do that, I want to talk about that still waters run deep for a minute, because that's you, Scorpio. You are the one. You know, you're the deepest of this astrology. and next to Pisces, both of you are. And so we've got that Pisces full moon. That's deep. We've got your energy, which is deep. Pluto is deep. You know, still waters do run deep. And I feel like that could also tie into this too, with the Seven of Cups, you know, diving into that water and finding those deep answers and those deep solutions. And also, that's what this person is coming from this turbulent water to the still waters, you know. And run deep could be deep connections and deep soul connections, because it's going towards this Ten of Cups. And whatever that is that family? Is that your soul family? Is that your regular family? Is that your lover? You know, who knows? But it's happy. I know that much. All right, Scorps, and you deserve it. All right, let's get your animal totem. I skipped over it, so I hope I didn't skip anybody else's. Ooh, the wasp energy. Well, I mean, you know, Scorpio, you can be a wasp. We all know that. Scorpio knows how to sting. If you've ever seen a Scorpio anger, you know. But let's read this. Fearless warrior spirit of the sky, shamanic healing, transformation, stinging, attacking, fighting the good fight, impassioned action makes dreams come true. Well, that's what I was saying over here. Yeah, you've got the dreams, you're visualizing, you're doing all the deep stuff, the deep soul work and all that psychic and powerful stuff on that full moon over here, the eclipse. But then you've got to take the impassioned action, you know, or nothing's going to happen without the impassioned action. I mean, well, that's not always the case. I mean, sometimes I was just, what popped into my mind was years ago, I was single, I was a single parent too, so I was really, you know, careful about who I would bring around my kids or dating. You know, I was reluctant to have anybody around my kids dating and stuff when they were little, because you just never know. But anyways, one of my friends who was a reader too, she goes, you know, they're just not, you have to get out there, they're not going to just show up at your door. And I swear to God, this guy, I would see him at different, I used to see him actually, he would be going to work, and I would see him, I would be at my kids, I'd take him to the bus stop, but I would see him, and I've always thought I was very much attracted to him. He actually, within a week of her saying, they're not going to show up at your door, he showed up at my door. So I never forgot that. They're not gonna just show up at your door, and I open, and someone's knocking on the door. It was him, and we did end up dating for a little while. But so sometimes they do just show up at your door. But in this case, it does feel like, you know, 2 of Wands, impassioned action. You know, that's it. You got the plan, you got the download on the full moon, and the universe is trying to give you all of it, and they're just trying to really give it to you there, Scorpio, and take it. Grab on with both hands, my guides are saying. Okay. All right, Scorps, well, don't forget about all the stuff I have going on. Eclipse reading. That'll be available for a limited time. I have other readings too, regular card readings like this. And I have the Patreon thing, which is $5 a month, and you get a reading every week. It really helps me, and it helps keep this channel going. And I appreciate everything that you do. If you like hit that like. I'm losing subscribers like mad. I think there's some, I forgot to mention it. We're almost all the way through all the signs. Yeah, but I guess YouTube is doing something. But yeah, I'm been dropping subscribers like a lot. So, you know, if you like the videos, hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you a dime. I am the oldest reader on YouTube, the original reader, and I'm still stuck at this 50,000 for years. For years I've been stuck there. I mean, I don't bring it up often because it's like, well, it is what it is. Is it really about that, having that trophy, or is it about getting the message out there? But, you know, I wouldn't mind having a trophy. Anyways, next we're going to do the sign of Sagittarius. Hello, Sagittarius. What's happening? What is the haps for you? Well, you know, everybody's, like I've been saying, every reading, everybody's affected by all this stuff. So you will be too, even though it's not in your sign necessarily. You're another one that this is your immutable sign. So this full moon, you're another one with these eclipses. Let's just talk about that for a real quick second here. Okay, so we've been having, if you didn't watch the intro, I talk about it more if you want to know more, go back to that. But we've been having eclipses in Libra and Aries, okay, for the last year or so, year and a half-ish. Libra and Aries, there we go. And now they're going to move into, they're going to be happening in Pisces and Virgo. Well, that means they're moving into the mutable signs. And this eclipse, this full moon eclipse, is in Pisces. So that means that they're going to start happening in the mutable signs. And you are one of the mutable signs. I talk a lot about the cardinal cross. Well, there's a mutable cross too. And you're part of it. So this full moon is making a square to you. So squares make things happen. They can be turning of corners, big changes. A full moon is going to bring that illumination. So it could really bring an illumination to you as to where you might need to or want to. You know, if something's giving you a hard time, you're getting a lot of friction, you're getting a lot of flack, you feel like you're hitting that wall, you know, that Sagittarius energy. I mean, you are Sagittarius, that full moon and Pisces energy, that could really be one of those times, those big aha moments, like, you know what, I know what I have to do now. You could get a big download, and it may be a big change. Okay, you've got the Four of Swords, followed by the Nine of Wands. Wow, that card has just been out a lot. And then lastly, the Page of Pentacles. This card has just been out, and a lot of the readings, and so a lot of people, I hope you can see. It's just a temporary thing here. I think leaving the light on is probably better. I have another light here I could possibly shine, maybe. Is that going to give us more? Or is it just going to make it kind of weird? Hopefully that's a little better, huh? You can see the cards. What I really have to do is block this. That's the problem. But it's just like not really an easy thing to do from where I'm at right now. But we'll get through it. You can see, hopefully. I can bring the cards up in there and show you a little better. I think I even have one more of these kind of lights. Yeah, let's see if I can turn this on. Will this make any difference at all? I don't know. Not really. Oh, I'll keep it on anyway. We'll keep the light on. Alright, 3 cards for Sagittarius from Rock and Roll Tarot. What do we got here? 8 of Rods, 8 of Wands or 8 of Rods, action. And to the Devil, okay. And then 5 of Pentacles. Yeah, watched, from what I'm seeing here in the bottom ones here, don't go rushing into anything real without, I mean, you may have, everybody's got this energy of I want to move forward. We've been so stuck in August with all the planets retrograding and Mercury retrograding, and August was just kind of a funky energy this year, right? And so now things are moving forward. We're getting all this good vibes. Everybody's like, I'm ready. I want to move forward. I want to go, go, go. And usually the 8 of Rods is a card of just that, of like, yeah, go, go, go. But watch what you're walking into here, because it's pointing right at the Devil here. And the Devil, I just heard from the Devil and the Deep Blue Sea. You know, the Devil is being caught in something that you may be not able to get out of too quickly. So you don't want to, what are they telling me? Something about where angels fear to tread, fools rush in where angels fear to tread, or something like that. Yeah, so watch what you're getting into, because you could get caught up in some kind of long-term thing here, and it might be hard to get out of. So it hasn't happened yet, hopefully, so you have you have time to change your course if that's the thing. Just go over things really, really well. It seems like some of you are really still hurting over some situation here. You're still having a healing time. Maybe even you're just tired. You know, maybe you're just feeling really tired and worn down. And you know, sometimes when you're tired, you're not thinking. You don't think straight. I know this for sure. I don't get a lot of sleep anymore for a long time, just because of these neighbors around here. They're just always waking me up and stuff. It's been hard to get sleep for years. And I know that when I'm not getting my sleep, I'm not functioning well, and I'm not thinking straight. This could, you know what's reminding me of? I just got out of, finally, this contract with this phone company. You know, be careful of that, because it's, you know, there's just no, these phone companies, you know, they can just flat out lie to you. I mean, they just flat out lie to you, and then you're signed into a contract, and then when you get your bill, it's nothing what was discussed. You know, it's just a flat out lie, and they get away with it. You know, it's just like, how do they get away with it? The one I was in, it was supposed to be like $89 for internet and phone or whatever, and it ended up being like $150 for a year. I was stuck in that, you know. I mean, maybe that's not a lot but it's just the principle of the thing. You know, it's just like you said, it was going to be $89, you know, and I went through all the trouble of switching things over, and now I'm stuck, you know, unless I want to just pay my phone off. Otherwise, I gotta, you know, come up with $1,000 to pay the phone off and I can get out of it, but you're pretty much stuck, you know. So it feels like there's some shady stuff like that, like, you know, shady language between the lines. If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is, you know, so be careful on that. Page of Pentacles here, but the good spot is that it looks like there could be some money coming your way. So there could be some news about money, perhaps with some earth sign energy, perhaps right at the 2nd of the month here when we have that new moon in Virgo. You know, that could even be when that energy shows up with that some kind of money thing showing up. Or maybe you get some money and you're like, you rush in and buy something that you regret later. You know, do your due diligence. Maybe even somebody out there is going to buy some big appliance, and then you're going to find out that, oh, this is a known problem. People have problems with this thing. You know, it's a known problem. Or a car. You know, maybe you're going to rush in and you just like this car, but then you find out, oh, there's this problem with them. And I feel like it's something that can be avoided if you are alert and awake, and you know, look into it before, you know, think before you act on something, because you could get stuck with something for a long time. I'm feeling like somebody's buying a refrigerator and it's just some known problem, and it's just like it's this big appliance that it's so hard to get in and out of the house, you know, or a car or something. You know, it's like these big things, or even maybe a house, you know. So I mean, it's not a negative reading, it's just like a cautionary reading, okay? Be sure, if this doesn't resonate with you, be sure to check your rising and moon here. But it feels like you could end up with something like a lemon thing, like a car or appliance, or a lemon deal, and then you're stuck with it. So just be careful, you can avoid it for sure. It does look like your finances are perking up though, so there's some good news. But let's get our animal totem for Sagittarius. Again, you know, this is a little bit of a cautionary reading, so if you're looking for some more brighter news, maybe check your rising and moon. But let's see, it's not a bad reading. The Lamb, yeah, you know, I'm feeling like it's like the wolf in sheep's clothing is what I'm getting. Like somebody's trying, maybe that's just how they do business. That's how these phone companies do business apparently these days. You know, they just freaking flat out lie about stuff, you know. It's not only one company. Other people I've talked to say, yeah, that happened to me, and it was a different company altogether. You know, I'm getting could be a wolf in sheep's clothing, so just be aware of that. But let's read the Lamb energy. Lamb is actually about being sweet and peaceful, you know, honestly. Lamb of God, take away the sins of the world. Sacrifice, vulnerability, innocence, humility, stillness, peace, quiet, pastoral life. Prophetic dreams uncover ancient knowledge. Well, you know, everybody, I haven't mentioned it that much, but everybody on that Pisces full moon eclipse could be getting prophetic dreams, for sure. So pay attention to your dreams around that time, for sure. Let's get into our lots. Let's see what we got for the lots. Let's do lots of love first. And it's dating. So some of you might be getting into, well, don't go rushing off and getting married until you know everything about this person. Because maybe you get married to somebody without a prenup, and maybe they've got, you know, you find out that they owe all this money, and it's on you too, you know. I think that's going to be a pretty rare thing, but hey, you never know. Stuff like that happens, right? Next, promising. Promising could be, yeah, it's promising, it's good, but right under this stuff, watch what somebody's promising. Be aware of what they're promising, and can they fulfill it? Is it in writing, you know? Let's get the last one is be careful what you wish for. Yeah, be careful what you wish for. You know, just not because you might get it is the implication of that saying. You know, be careful what you wish for because you might get it. But you might get, you know, be careful getting locked into some kind of deal or something, whether it's a relationship, a contract, a marriage, a big purchase, you know, where you you regret it later. Okay, so just watch out for that. You know, sorry it wasn't more like it's kind of not a downer reading, but again, a little bit of a cautionary reading. But Sagittarius, just check your sun, rising, and moon. Check the rest of them, because I'm sure that there's some positive messages elsewhere. But maybe some people did need to hear that, I'm going to say, because it came out that way. All right, next we're going to move on to Capricorn. Hello, Capricorn. Well, you're another one who is a cardinal sign. So you're a cardinal sign. That means you're part of the cardinal cross. There's Aries, Libra, Capricorn, Cancer. So whenever the sun moves into one of the cardinal signs, we have a change of season. So it's not your turn now, it's Libra, but you still feel it. I mean, I feel like, you know, the cardinal signs really feel these ingresses more so than some of the other signs. And you're definitely going to feel it. Here's the other news, Capricorn. Dun, dun, dun. Pluto is back in your sign. I mean, come on with the Pluto, right? So Pluto went into our sign of Capricorn all the way back in 2008. It's brought about big changes and transformation. Pluto is death and rebirth. It's a powerful energy. I mean, it's the god of the underworld. Pluto transits are not anything that's just like a walk in the park, usually. Thinking back to 2008, I'm sure your life is much, much different than it was in 2008. And it's a time, this is really the final time. It's dipped in and out a few times. It's dipped into Aquarius and back into Capricorn, dipped in, dipped out. So it's dipping in again, right? It'll be out in November. And it won't be back for 250 years or some such crazy number. So not in this incarnation, right? But, you know, think back on what did start around 2008. What was going on? Because somehow, some way, it's going to finally come to some kind of a conclusion. So it could be actual life events, sure. And that's what I'm hoping for. Because a lot happened for me in 2008. I broke up with my long-term partner. And then I closed my family's business. I think I was having some other Uranian, big Uranus aspect that year too, but I was just like done with that, and I'm done with that. You know, both of these things, you know, were big things in my life, and I ended it all. And you know, there are actually still some things still lingering from that time frame. I'm not going to go into it on this reading, but it would be nice if that was put to bed once and for all in my case. But it doesn't have to be physical, tangible things, right? It could be, it's deep. It's deep, subconscious, psychological. You know, it's all kinds of stuff, right? So this is the time. All right, let's get the 3 cards for Capricorn for September. You've got the Magician. You can make magic. 5 of Pentacles. That was just in the last reading. You got to believe you can make magic. And then the 7 of Cups. Visualizing, creating dreams, creating visualization through visualization, and you know, creating your reality. A lot of state of mind stuff going on here. Bottom 3, we're going to have the 4 Cups, followed by the 2 of Rods, and finally the Hierophant. I heard, finally it's happening to me. Da, na, 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 na. I don't know the rest of the song or even what it is. Finally it's happening to me. So finally it's happening to you. Well, something's going to be happening. I mean, you've got the power. You've got the power of the Magician. So you wield that magic wand. You have that power. But, you know, you're doubting yourself. We all do. We all get there. We all go there. It's this imposter syndrome. You're feeling like lack. You're feeling like you've been through the ringer with Pluto, because you have. Right? But you're coming out on the other side. You have to believe to achieve. You have to believe it. You have to be able to see it, taste it, touch it. If you keep going back to this, and you know, Capricorns, we're ruled by Saturn, and we're known to be some of the pessimistic. We can go to that side. We can be pessimistic. Ben Franklin was a famous Capricorn, and I'm not fine, but he had this famous saying, something about, you know, don't count on anything. Basically, you know, then you'll never be disappointed. You know, if you don't believe in anything, you'll never be disappointed. But by the same token, look at how many things he was this crazy. He invented bifocals, and he did all kinds of great stuff. He was this great inventor, and this, you know, he was flying the kite with the electricity and all that stuff. You know, Ben Franklin was he was a Renaissance man for sure. So, you know, we may be feeling like we've been through the ringer. I just can't take any more of this crap. feeling shut out in the cold, feeling like, you know, being treated poorly, being treated coldly. Well, it's up to you. It's always, magician, it's up to you. It's me, myself, and I. You know, whatever anybody else has done, that's on them. You know, magician, you have the magic to make it happen. You have, it's always been in your power, Capricorn. I'm getting like that Dorothy thing from the Wizard of Oz. You know, she always had the magic. She always had the power. It's a lot of it, pay attention to your state of mind during this time frame. That's going to be a key component, because what you're visualizing and dreaming and everything is what you're creating. Are you going to create a reality where you're out in the cold and everything is crappy? Or are you going to create a reality where you are powerful, you're the all-powerful Oz, and you're kicking ass and taking names, you know? Four cups here. So there's some kind of offer on the table here. Perhaps through the Hierophant, perhaps through this bigger entity, like a big company, a big, it feels like a big company for most people, or a big conglomerate, corporate conglomerate, I'm hearing. Or, you know, could be just being welcomed into some group, you know, where maybe you've been shut out in the cold because that wasn't the group for you. But now you're in a group where, you know, people are cool and you're meant to be there. The Two of Rods is like you're seeing your path, you're seeing the way to go. You hold the world in your hand. You've got your magic wand and the world. You can create anything you want right now. This is a very powerful time of creation. This full moon lunar eclipse in Pisces too, you know, it is that time of going here, going into that magic, going into that visualization, that creative, co-creating with the universe, you know. Stop doing the imposter syndrome. Stop talking yourself out of it. Stop being a pessimist, Capricorn. I know it's in your nature, but we can change our nature. If we keep practicing a different, if you keep, you know, doing the same thing and expecting a different result, is that the definition of insanity. But if you keep doing the positive thing, directing your life in the positive thing, after a while it becomes second nature. Okay. You need to do, I'm picking up that whole Louise Hay, that mirror thing, I actually did a whole video on it. Because I did a video on it because I've never been, the Louise Hay is, oh, I love you, I love you, I love you, you know. And to me that always was just like, you know, I don't talk like that anyway, okay? So it didn't resonate with me. And then there was this girl, I love her too, she's really great. Mel somebody, I think her name is. But she was doing a mirror work. She had a new take of high-fiving yourself in the mirror. I did a whole video on this. And that's not me either. I'm not a big high-fiver or sports, you know, that's just not me either. So, but you can talk kind words to yourself in the mirror. You can say, hey, it's going to be okay. Hey, you're worthy. You're okay. It's, you know, you have a lot to offer. You can just do the kind, I mean, maybe the high five is your thing, or maybe, oh, I love you, love you, love you is your thing. But, you know, whatever feels comfortable for you. But I feel like you got to maybe do some mirror work, or just be aware of your self-talk. Be aware of what you're saying, because that Pluto can take you right to that dark side. It can take you right down in that underworld, right to that dark side, and that pessimistic streak can just rear its ugly head, and it's going to put the kibosh on all the magic that you're trying to create here, okay? All right, let's get your animal totem for Capricorns for September. The deer. Deer is very gentle energy, but I want to tie it back into this magician over here. I want to say being gentle with yourself. Yeah, so you didn't get the gig you wanted, or the job, or you didn't do good on your employee review, or whatever. It doesn't mean that you're not worthy, or you suck, or whatever. You know, you are worthy. Let's read it. Gentle, peaceful, sensitive soul. Loving persuasion realizes desires. Pay attention to your surroundings, ready to act in an instant. Quiet introspect reveals the answers you seek. Yeah, this feels like that quiet introspect. That lunar eclipse in Pisces is a great time to do that quiet introspect. So, you know, pay attention to your inner world. A lot of times, Capricorns, you're so busy striving in the outer world. The Pluto back in our sign wants us to go into our subconscious mind, wants us to go into our inner world. And how have we changed since 2008? What has happened? where are we at now compared to then? How are things different, both inward and outward? Okay? All right. Lots of love. Reflect. There you go. Can't make this stuff up. Reflect. It's a time of reflection. Okay, next we have lots of answer. It's likely. What's likely? Either way is likely. It's the beast you feed or the wolf you feed, that Native American thing. You know, there's two wolves. Or you can do it the devil on your, or the angel, you know. Whatever one you want to pay attention to. Next we have a little knowledge is a dangerous thing. Yeah, you don't know why some of this stuff went down. You know, you just don't know. Maybe, I'm feeling like maybe, you know, somebody said some harsh words to you. Maybe, you don't know. Maybe their mother just died or whatever happened. Don't take it to heart. Your inner presence is going to be such a powerful thing right now. And it's where you need to put your attention. It's being backed up everywhere around here. And then the outer world will come along, you know. Come along if you can. Ba, 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 ba. Take a ride to the land inside of your mind. Yeah, the land inside of your mind. That was perfect. All right, so yeah, Caps, good luck. I mean, I'm right there with you. I'm doing the Pluto thing right there with you. I'm riding this storm out. Riding the storm out. Anyways, don't forget about, if you want to get into the eclipse reading or you want to do any of the stuff I offer, please do check out my website and hit that like and subscribe. It costs you nothing. I'd highly appreciate it. All right, next we're going to do our Aquarius. All right, Aquarius as well. You're another one not exactly involved in any of this stuff per se. It's not in your sign, but everybody's affected for sure. And Pluto has left out of your sign. So you got a little taste of what the next 20 years is going to be like when it was dipping in there. So get ready, because fasten your seatbelts, Aquarius. Yeah, but the Libra Ingress, change of time, change of season, air sign energy like you, and then that Pisces full moon lunar eclipse, prophetic dreams, major insights, soul work. You know, it's powerful. All right, let's do 3 cards for Aquarius. First, we've got the King of Cups, water sign energy, followed by the Queen of Cups. All right. Finally, the 5 of Swords. Okay. Next, we're going to get on to the 3 cards from the Rock and Roll Tarot from our Aquarius peeps. Got the World, loving that. Got some good energy there. Queen of Pentacles and 5 of Swords again. Are you kidding me? All right, you got the 5 of Swords twice, so we've got to address the elephant in the room, right? So the 5 of Swords is a stalemate. The 5 of Swords is, I feel this way and I feel this way, and I'm not budging and you're not budging, and so walk on. See you later. Don't let the door hit you on the butt on the way out. So if you've been coming up against that energy, because clearly it's here twice, so you clearly could be, right? If you've been hitting your head against the brick wall and you can't get through, you just can't make somebody see things your way, it might be time to walk on. Full moon lunar eclipse, things are culminating, things are ending. So it could be. Now, I'm not sure who's what or who's where in these scenarios. None of these court cards would necessarily represent you. One thing, though, is interesting. We've got the King and the Queen of Cups, regardless of gender. You know, that's who's the King of Cups partner, the Queen of Cups. So this is definitely some major partner relationship stuff for some people. Some of you, now this doesn't feel all this negative, right? But some of you may feel like you've reached the end of the road. I've reached the end of the road, we're just never going to agree. This could be, though, it could be a partner in your work situation. It could be a partner, for some of you it's a neighbor, like a bad neighbors like I have. You know, it could be just like, I just can't take this shit from them anymore. You know, we're never going to live in harmony. It's not going to happen. We're past that point. We're past that point a long time ago. I just want to get the F out of here, right? You know, so it could be like that. But in this scenario, for some people, there could be a thing of, you know, let's just agree to disagree on this. If it's like one topic. You know, if it's just like, well, I wanted this or that, we can just agree to disagree, and it doesn't necessarily, we don't necessarily have to agree in order for us to live in harmony with each other. But for others, some of this stuff is just like, no, I'm done. And maybe this is the thing that's, you know, going to push you in the right direction, because you have the world here. You are being pushed in the right direction. You are being, I think I can take this bright light off now. Yeah, there we go. Maybe I'll just put it on a little bit. You are being pushed towards the world, which the world is a fabulous card that you definitely want to embrace. The world is culmination. It's everything coming that you're really wanting. And the number 21 is really grabbing me, and which is interesting because that falls right in between. You've got the lunar eclipse on the 18th, and then the Libra Ingress on the 22nd. So the 21st falls right in between there. That could be a key day. Now, we've also got down here, well, this could be that full moon in Pisces too, by the way, because it's water energy, right? But we've also got this Queen of Pentacles over here. Now, the Queen of Pentacles is earth sign energy, which is a Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo. And we are going to have a Virgo new, we're in Virgo season all the way up to the equinox, but we also are having a Virgo new moon on the 2nd of September. So, you know, there's definitely some Virgo energy at work here. It feels very strongly like around this time frame, maybe the new moon, or maybe a person who is an earth sign, or maybe somebody that you're involved with financially. Ouch, that was my neck cracking. Because the Queen of Pentacles is this earth sign person. Could be, I mean, money holds the money, the coin, right? This could be some kind of financial opportunity that pops up around that time. That, you know, because some of you might be just like, I hate this job, I just can't stand it anymore, I don't want to work at this place anymore. But even if it's not at a specific place, maybe you just want to change careers altogether. You know, I just hate doing this type of work anymore, I don't want to do it anymore. But this world is opening up something grand, my guides are saying, something beyond what you're, let's not, here's this thing around these eclipse seasons and these new seasonal ingresses, like I think it was Capricorn, let's not focus on what's not working. Let's not keep talking about what's not working or what didn't work or what went wrong. Let's focus on what we do want, because what we do want could be just beyond the horizon. And what am I hearing? The sailing ships clocked on the horizon. I turned to look, but it was gone. I cannot put my finger on it now. The child is gone. That was in another song. It's Comfortably Numb is the song. I mean, that was in another reading about the child being grown or whatever. Okay, but anyways, yeah, there's something just beyond the horizon. Let's just open our eyes and look at it. It may even pop in around this time frame on that full moon. You may get an inkling of it. Lots of love, outgoing. All right, next we're going to look at our lots of answers for Aquarius. Oh, I forgot the animal tongue. I keep forgetting the animal tongue. We'll get it. Certainly. So that's a yes. Certainly. It is certain. All right, next. A mind is a terrible thing to waste. Yeah, you might be in a situation where you're not being mentally stimulated. Whether it's, you know, relationship, work, whatever. Also, you may be in a situation where your mind is just getting numb from constant arguing. You're never going to convince these person of whatever you're trying to convince them. So stop wasting your time and your energy and your mind on whatever, you know, you're trying to. You're not going to force a change here. This is not the time to force a change. This is the time the universe is telling you to turn the corner. Try something else. The opossum. The opossum is like the hangman, because sometimes it's like pausing. Yeah. Dreamer of dreams, seer of visions. Well, Pisces full moon. There you go. That's all that. There it is. Pause. Create space for enlightenment. Breathe. Keep your plans and ideas private. Know when to assert yourself and play dead. Yeah, there's no sense trying to assert yourself in this situation. Also about keeping your plans and ideas private, especially if somebody's not going along with them, because they could put the kibosh on it. You want to be careful how much you talk about your plans and ideas, especially if somebody's against it or is a naysayer or whatever the case may be. Keep your plans and ideas private. Go your own way. You can go your own way. Go your own way. Yeah, you can call it another sunny day, baby. Alright, so there's good things on the horizon. The World is one of the best cards in the whole freaking deck, alright, Aquarius? Don't try to, you know, they're talking about don't throw pearls before swine. You know, don't waste your energy on somebody that's just pounding you down and saying no, no, no. Do it anyway. Do what's right for you. Because this is trying to push you to go in another direction. Hey, don't forget about the readings. I got the Eclipse reading. They'll be available only to the end of this month. The Patreon readings. And I have regular, just psychic card readings, you know, astrology and card readings, all on my website. Hitting that like, subscribe, all that stuff definitely helps to keep the channel going and helps keep people informed about what I'm doing here. What am I doing here? Alright, let's see. Let's get on to the last sign, which is Pisces. Well, Pisces, this is a big month for you. And this is a big preview as to what's coming up for the next couple of years, actually. If you skip the beginning of the video, go back and watch it. But in a nutshell, this is the first of the Pisces Virgo eclipses. They always are in opposite signs. So they've been in Aries and Libra, now they're going to be in Pisces and Virgo. And I'm doing a whole personal readings on this too, so it may pertain to you. So, and then we're going to be having them in Pisces and Virgo into next year and beyond. So it's about almost a 2-year cycle. It's about a year and, I don't know, a couple years almost. But this is big news. And this cycle has not been around for 19 years for you, okay? So this is a preview. This 18th, this full moon lunar eclipse, is a preview of what's to come in the upcoming time frames that we're going to be moving into. I just want to find them, give you some dates for sure on that. Okay, 2024. Let's look at 2025. Okay, here's the last time we had these eclipse cycles. It was from June of 2006 through December of 2007. Prior to that, it was 1980. Well, might as well say 1988 through 1989. And prior to that, it was 1969 through 1970. Now, here's another fun fact. If you were born during any of these time frames, you're also having a nodal return, which is also like big, big news. But even if you weren't, it's good. It can be very enlightening and insightful, Pisces, to go back to those time frames and what was going on during those times. What were the big changes? Where were you being called? Because it's not only about just the eclipses, it's about the nodes going into your sign, and they're trying to call you to a higher, your soul's calling. I mean, it's some intense, deep stuff, all right? So, you know, I would be looking into that. I would be thinking about those other cycles. What happened during those time frames? Definitely paying attention to your dream. If you can take a little time during this time frame to get some peace and quiet, some meditation, get into that deep dive energy of, and kind of figure out, you know, well, what was going on? Where am I going in life? What is the universe trying to tell me? You know, it's powerful stuff, okay? Okay, first card out, 2 of Swords, trying to make a decision. Next card out is 3 of Swords. Ooh, feeling some heartbreak and upset. Third card out is the Ace of Wands, and planting new seeds. I heard sowing the seeds of love. Sowing the seeds. Sowing the seeds of love. It's a song too. Alright, here we got the 7 of Pentacles. Next we have the Lovers. And last but not least, we have the 4 of Rods. So there's a lot of love energy going on, because 4 of Rods is a major love card, as is the Lovers, clearly. So some of you have been through some heartbreak and sorrow. Somebody else had this similar thing. I think it was, it might have been Leo. But at any rate, you know, decision. You have to make a decision. Something is hurting you and making you sad, then maybe it's run its course, because that's another thing with the full moon eclipse is full moons are culminations, and the full moon eclipses are the ones where something can be eclipsed out of your life, okay? So, but it looks like the ball's in your court. It looks like it would be a decision that you're making. This is interesting because the way the bottom of this card is, it reminds me of a mermaid, which is you. I think of you as the mermaids, you know, even if you're a male energy, you know, merman or whatever, the merfolk. It reminds me of a mermaid, and that's your energy too. So that's what I want to say. Sometimes this card can indicate an outside person is making this decision. And maybe they did. Maybe somebody said, hey, I'm breaking up with you, or I want to end the relationship, or you're fired from the job, and you were upset about it. But really, I think for most, this is you making that decision. You're making this big decision. And it may be difficult. It looks like it's going to be difficult, but you're being shown that, and you know within your heart and within this full moon that it's time, okay, Pisces? Ace of Rods is here, so a new beginning. Look at that full moon energy right behind it. Planting these seeds of a new beginning, sowing the seeds of love. I keep getting that. Excuse me for 1 second. It's a song, sowing the seeds of love. Sowing the seeds. I can't think. That's the only part I could think of. But sowing the seeds of love. You're going to be sowing the seeds of love. And it's clearly showing up down here. Where did my little pointer go? My wand. It's showing up down here with the Lover's card. And also the Four of Rods. Excuse me again. Sorry, my throat's getting sore. I'm going to put a cough drop. I hope it doesn't make too much noise. My throat gets a little fried after talking for hours like this. 1 second. Thanks for your patience. You know, because the Four of Rods is also a love card. It can be. Mostly, you know, I use the Four of Rods more for like a moving card or just happiness within the home environment. But really, it is a card of, you know, a marriage card. It's the mandap, you know, the Indian wedding. My daughter got married in an Indian wedding last fall. And, you know, it's when it's paired with the Lovers, you know, we're talking about some kind of big relationship thing. But it looks really, really good. It's not anything, this is positive. This is the new relationship, or the new, you know, the new thing that's coming forward for you. You're going to find love and happiness again. You're going to love again. If this doesn't feel like love, if it feels like pain, then this is not where you're supposed to be. There's Seven of Pentacles in here, so some of you may be thinking, well, I can't afford to live on my own. You know, that's a lot of times. That's why people stay in bad relationships, even in this time we live in the 2020s. You know, there's still that. You know, back in the day, you know, women couldn't even get a credit card or anything else, so they were stuck with a man, or some people wouldn't rent to single mothers with kids and stuff. So it was really a factor, you know, back in the day, like, you know, way back in the day. Sorry about the dog barking over there. I don't always bark. I think he's just ghosts. He barks at the ghosts. He'll sit in there in the living room barking at quote unquote no one. So I think it's ghosts. I was just remembering my other dog Merlin, who was a Pisces. He used to do that too. So I think maybe there's some ghost in there they're barking at. Who knows? But anyways, you know, maybe finances does play a part for some. Like, you're just like, yeah, but if I leave, then I'm just going to be harder to pay all the bills, or blah, 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 this and that. For others of you, maybe you're planning a wedding, and you're trying to get the money together for the wedding, which are also fantastically expensive. Or maybe you are going to be moving into a house. Or maybe you're dating someone, you start a new relationship, it's like, why are we paying 2 mortgages or 2 rents? Why don't we just, you know, cohabitate? Why don't we just move in together? But whatever the case, this Four of Rods is a card of great happiness and joy. So there is perhaps there's an end to some pain and sorrow here, but by your choice. You're the one who has to make the call. I feel that pretty strong for most people. Sometimes it might be the other way around, but I'm feeling that. And there's going to be a period of grief. There's going to be a period of transition where it's hard, but you're ready. You'll be ready to plant these new seeds. And there's much happiness and love and prosperity and good stuff that's still coming. That's way better. It's better than staying in this the hell you know kind of thing. You want to go, the hell you know is better than the hell that may await you. Well, I'm here to tell you, it doesn't look like hell awaits you. It looks like a lot of happiness and love, and you just have to have the courage to just do what makes you happy. It might be a job for some. Maybe you hate the job. Maybe you hate the job, you get a new job, and then he puts you in, through the new job somehow, you meet the love of your life. And when I say those things, a lot of times it's not necessarily that they're a co-worker, although it could be. But if you work at a new job, You take a different route to work, you stop a different place for coffee, for lunch, for gas, for groceries, you know. It puts you in contact with all kinds of new, different people, you know. All right, let's get that animal totem for our Pisces. The rat. Somebody is a rat who has done you dirty. Here, what are they trying to tell me? That song, something about I've done you wrong. You've done me wrong. I'm not quite getting it. But it means somebody has. And it's if there's a rat in your life and they've been cheating on you or they've done you dirty, I keep wanting to say they've done you dirty. So if they've done you dirty, then it's time to cut that off and start your new life, because there's no better time with these eclipses. Again, think back to that other time frame so that you can rewind the tape and look back at that. Where were you at then? How far have you come emotionally? It's not always about just things in the outer world, especially with you Pisces, because you're so inwardly, motivated is not the right, but you're inwardly, that's kind of your jam. You know, you're very inward and spiritual and psychic and everything. You're old souls, you know. So these are your soul lessons that are coming up at this time. And sometimes it takes a lot of courage, but there's always, could be something really wonderful on the other side. Okay, sneaking, slinking, hiding, stealing, fear, lack, hoarding, squalor, surviving in harsh environments. Some of you have been surviving in a harsh environment. Release what no longer serves you. There it is. Okay. All right, let's move over to the lots of love. I'm hearing some music, but I can't really put my finger on it. Secure. Oh yeah, you're going to be in a relationship that's secure where you don't feel like crap all the time. All right, let's see here. Next, we have probably. So that's okay. Maybe, probably, but leaning more towards a yes. All right, last but not least, lots of this one. Jealousy is the green-eyed monster. Yeah, I mean, for some of you, it might be somebody who's really jealous and possessive. That's trying to keep you, keep you imprisoned or something. The old thing. This is night and day, okay? This is not the same as this. This is, love is flourishing, there's happiness and love. This is, the angel on there tells us it's your higher self intervening, your guides and angels are intervening. This is where you're supposed to be, not here, okay? And again, for some, maybe it's a job. Maybe it could be a family member. Maybe you're trying to help take care of a family member and they're abusive towards you, This feels like abusive, okay? I'm just going to say it flat out. Whether it's verbal or whatever kind of abuse. And this full moon in your sign, you may reach your breaking point, or maybe you have an epiphany like, hey, I don't have to take this crap anymore. And once you do that, once you make that decision and start planting the seeds, sowing the seeds of love, they just keep giving me that lyric, this new thing starts to pop for you, and it's more beautiful and wonderful than anything you've had maybe in a long time for some Pisces, okay? Alrighty then, well Pisces, this is it. This is going to be an introduction for you to what's coming up over the next couple years with these eclipses. And don't be surprised if you're very transformed, if your life is transformed. It's highly likely. And if you want to dive into it more, I do have the eclipse reading and other readings on my website, and I have the Patreon stuff and all that. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Have a great month of September. It's going to be, some perhaps challenging, but definitely, changing. We're in changing times, and September is no exception. All right, we'll be back again next month with the card reading. If you like the card readings, I do them every week on Patreon, so you can check it out if you want. Have a good one. Remember your love and beauty incarnate. Bye.